Zoom is ready.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Good morning and
Webinar
welcome.
started.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the New York City Highway Hearing on Committee on Zoning and Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises. Please silence all electronic devices at this time. Also, please do not approach the dais. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, and one of us as Sergeant at Arms will kindly assist you. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation. Chair, we're ready to begin.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a meeting of the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises. I'm Councilmember Kevin Riley, Chair of the subcommittee. I'm joined today by Councilmember Moya, Shulman, and Salam. Today, we are scheduled to hold a public hearing about the first of multiple proposals to develop a casino complex in the city under the state's initiative to issue up to 3 gaming facility licenses downstate. This first proposal is known as Queens Future and will be located next to Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. Before discussing this proposal and some more, I will now go over the hearing procedures. This meeting is being held in a hybrid format. Members of the public who wish to testify may testify in person or through Zoom. Members of the public wishing to testify remotely may register by visiting the New York City Council's website at www.council.nyc.gov/land-use to sign up, and for those of you here in person, please see one of the Sergeant at Arms to prepare and submit a speaker's card. Members of the public may also view a live stream broadcast of this meeting at the Council's website. When you are called to testify before the subcommittee, if you're joining us remotely, you will remain muted until recognized by myself to speak. When you are recognized, your microphone will be unmuted. We will limit public testimony to 2 minutes per witness. If you have additional testimony that you would like the subcommittee to consider, or if you have written testimony that you would like to submit instead of appearing in person, please email it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Written testimony may be submitted up to 3 days after the hearing is closed. Please indicate the LU number or the project name in the subject line of your email. We request that the witnesses joining us remotely remain in the meeting until excused by myself, as council members may have questions. Lastly, for everyone attending today's meeting, this is a government proceeding and decorum must be observed at all times. Members of the public are asked not to speak during the meeting unless you are testifying. The witness table is reserved for people who are called to testify, and no video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recording as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recording to the Sergeant at Arms for inclusion in the hearing record. I will now open the public hearing on LUs 249 and 250 related to the Queens Future City Map and Rezoning Proposal in Councilmember Moya's district. It is important to clarify that this proposal to license up to 3 gaming facilities in the city is a state initiative, and that the state is leading the process to decide which proposals are awarded a license. The state-led process consists of 3 steps that will begin this summer. The first step consists of a review by a community advisory committee known as a CAC, followed by the review of the Gaming Facility Location Board, and a final decision will be issued by the State Gaming Commission. A decision by the state is expected by the end of the year. The Queens Future proposal is here before us as the council because applicant must have the needed local land use approvals to compete for a state gaming facility license. So to be very clear, we are not here today to decide whether there should be a casino in Flushing, Queens. We are here today to determine whether the requested land use approvals are appropriate. Applicant is seeking 2 land use approvals. The proposed development site consists of Citi Field's parking lots. For reasons that the applicant will explain, These parking lots are mapped parkland and do not have a zoning district. To build a casino, the proposed site must have a zoning district. As a result, applicant is requesting the mapping of a zoning district. The second approval is to amend the city map to reconfigure some of the nearby streets to accommodate the projected traffic, to demap parkland where the proposed buildings will be located, and to map new parkland. It is important to note that the changes to the city map will be conditioned on the applicant being awarded a gaming facility license by the state. So if the applicant is not awarded a gaming facility license, the changes to the city map would not go into effect. Similarly, if applicant is not awarded a license, the proposed development site will remain parkland, and the applicant will not be able to use the new underlying zoning district that it is seeking today. Having made these clarifying remarks, for anyone wishing to testify on these items remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. For anyone with us in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to submit a speaker's card. If you prefer to submit written testimony, you can always do so by emailing it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. I would now like to yield the floor to Councilmember Moyer to give his remarks.
Good morning. Good morning, and thank you, Chair Riley, for the opportunity to share a few words about the project before us today, because it has the potential to boost the economy of the borough of Queens and the city as a whole. Throughout my career in public service, my priority has been to support initiatives that truly reflect our community's needs and strengthen our local economy. When I was approached about the proposal for Metropolitan Park, a new sports, entertainment, and recreational destination envisioned by the New York Mets owner Steve Cohen and Hard Rock International, I made it clear that I would only support the project if it genuinely served our community. This project is about more than building a new venue. It's about creating lasting job opportunities, transforming this area into a world-class destination, and elevating our local economy to unprecedented heights. Metropolitan Park will provide 100% union jobs in both the construction and operations of the project, following the model that was established in Etihad Park at Willets Point. There's also a firm commitment to diversity and local hiring, with contracts for minority and women-owned businesses and opportunities for local residents. Community involvement has been a part of this plan. Mr. Cohen and Hard Rock International have actively engaged with community leaders and shown real dedication to partnership with local organizations. I also emphasize the importance of not overshadowing the current and future developments that will help Queens become a premier destination. And I'm pleased to say that Mr. Cohen and the Hard Rock International have worked diligently to address these priorities. Together, through ongoing dialogue with Mr. Cohen, local leaders, and residents, we've crafted a vision that truly serves the borough of Queens. So I genuinely support the vision that includes a vibrant community-centered sports, entertainment, and recreation destination, complete with new open spaces, entertainment venues, a hotel, and a gaming facility. Like I mentioned before, it's a transformative plan that could significantly boost our community and city's economy. So with the development of Willets Point and Metropolitan Park, we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to create a world-class destination that will benefit not only Queens, but all of New York. And by transforming these underutilized parking lots into a dynamic hub for commerce and entertainment, Mr. Cohen and the Hard Rock International have demonstrated their commitment to the best interests of Queens and New York City, where we can create an economic engine that will draw visitors year-round, enhancing the experience for millions who come to Citi Field, the USTA Center, and the soon-to-be New York City Football Club first state-of-the-art soccer stadium. So I am looking forward to having a robust and in-depth conversation about this project here today with the applicants, and I thank you, Chair, and my colleagues for the opportunity to speak here today.
I will now call on the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of David Kornowski, Michael Sullivan, Julissa Ferris Copeland, and Greg Pasquarelli. Council, can you please administer the affirmation?
Good morning. Could you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record? Let's make sure all the mics are turned on. There we go. Okay. Let's try that again one at a time.
Julissa Ferreras Copeland.
David Karnofsky.
Michael Sullivan.
Greg Pasquarelli.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony this morning and in response to council member questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the viewing public, if you need an accessible version of this presentation, please send an email request to landustetestimony@council.nyc.gov. And now the applicant team may begin. I just ask that you please reinstate your name and organization for the record. You may begin.
Thank you, Chair Riley. I'm Julissa Ferreras Copeland. Next slide. Good morning, Chair Riley, Councilmember Moya, Councilmember Schulman, and Councilmember Salam. I'm Julissa Ferreras Copeland, representing Queens Future LLC. I'm joined by my colleagues Greg Pasquarelli of Shop Architects, David Karnofsky from Fried Frank, and Michael Sully Sullivan to represent our project, Metropolitan Park, along with the necessary mapping actions. Next slide. Next slide. Our ULURP application, next slide. Our ULURP application seeks to amend the city and zoning maps to transform City Field's asphalt parking lots into a dynamic sports and entertainment district, enabling the creation of a new 25-acre New York City park. In 2013, New York State voters approved issuing these downstate gaming facilities. Metropolitan Park is seeking one of these licenses, which is essential to advancing our project. Next slide. We are committed to delivering on what the community has asked for and needs: good paying jobs, a world-class hotel with a casino and live music venue, and improved transportation with climate-resilient infrastructure, all anchored by a 25-acre park. Next slide. With gaming as our economic engine, we bring together sports and entertainment as part of an area already featuring the New York Mets, USTA, NYCFC to create New York's next great destination. The gaming license process includes today's ULURP action, the Community Advisory Committee, as referred to as the CAC, and the Location Siting Board, and a final approval from the Gaming Commission, as the chair mentioned in his opening testimony. Next slide. As mentioned earlier, Queens Future is a partnership between Steve Cohen, owner of the New York Mets, Jim Allen, chairman and CEO of Hard Rock International, Cheryl McKissick of McKissick & McKissick, and Bill Thompson and Henry Cisnero of Cybert. Next slide. We assembled a New York-based design and development team to ensure that Metropolitan Park is authentically New York in both its design and its impact. Next slide. Our site is City Field surrounding parking lots in Queens, highlighted on this map in yellow. It is a prime location near LaGuardia Airport, public transportation, major sports venues, and cultural landmarks, making it ideal for its site and for this transformation. Next slide. This land is city-owned and leased under a 99-year commercial agreement with Mets owner Steve Cohen until 2105. Right now, it is asphalt, used only for surface parking. The community agrees that this space is underutilized, uninviting, and deserving of transformation into something more beneficial to the residents of Queens and all New Yorkers. Next. In 1936, Robert Moses used his authority as Parks Commissioner to purchase and designate this land for use as parking lots for the 1939 World's Fair. By virtue of this history, it became part of Flushing Meadows Corona Park and was mapped as parkland on the city map despite continuous usage as parking lots. Next. Although this area is mapped as parkland, during its entire existence, it has only ever been a swamp, a garbage dump, and then a parking lot. First for the World's Fair, and later to service Shea Stadium and Citi Field. It has never had a public park. Next. I am honored to lead the community engagement for Queens Future, overseeing a four-year-long effort to gather input that has shaped the design of Metropolitan Park. In those 4 years, we held 16 community workshops where nearly 2,000 community residents participated, hosted over 1,000 one-on-one meetings with community leaders, and engaged with over 20,000 residents. Next. What we heard from the community is the need for good paying jobs, expanded green space, and supportive local businesses. They want an area they can enjoy all year round, that is climate resistant, that has safe bike and pedestrian paths that give them access to the waterfront. They're asking for a hotel, casino, live music, and a dynamic mix of restaurants and entertainment. And Metropolitan Park is designed to deliver exactly that. Next. In my 17 years of government experience and sitting for the first time on this side of the dais, I have never encountered a project with this level of community board support. We have secured approvals from all 6 community boards in the area, as well as the Queensborough President and City Planning. Next slide. All these ideas were given to our next presenter, Greg Pasquarelli, who will explain how his team designed a plan that would reflect all these community priorities.
Thank you, Julissa, and thank you to the council members for the honor to speak here today. My name is Greg Pasquarelli. I'm a founding partner of Shop Architects here in New York. This has been an incredible undertaking with an incredibly supportive client and wonderful engagement with the community over the years that we have developed the plan. Next slide. As Julissa was talking about, here you could see on the left the original plan for the 39 World's Fair site. You could see the idea was always to kind of get the park up to the Flushing Bay. But what you see in the next slide was actually how Robert Moses, oh, sorry, not the next slide, the next image, back on, thanks, is the parking lots that were built there. You could see them in white at the top. And then Moses then used his authority as the Parks Commissioner to take that land and drive highways through it, separating the park from the surrounding communities. One of the most incredible opportunities here is how many times do we get the chance to right the wrongs of Robert Moses? And that has been a driving theme throughout the design of this project. Next. So when we originally looked at it, we thought about some of the natural beauty. We thought about the architectural heritage and the history of the site. And it was really about making a connection to get the park back up to the waterfront and to help heal some of the east-west connections to the communities. Next. What we ended up with these series of sort of shapes of forms that where you had kind of major flows of people and parkland that kind of created these flat iron shapes. We looked at the original Ebbets Field, which was the inspiration for City Field, and started to think of these series of flat iron buildings surrounding a park. Next. We looked at the architectural history of the site, some of the buildings from the 39 World's Fair. Next. The 64 World's Fair, far more Jetsons kind of looking, but very, very cool and very important as well. Next. And came up with this plan. And so the plan really sort of centers at the 7 train MTA station, which will be rebuilt. We'll show you some images of that. It drives a 25-acre park through to the north, also to the east and west, to the new soccer stadium. And then on the east side, you could see is the new integrated resort with the venue, the gaming, hotels, entertainment, food and beverage. What we've also tried to do is build all of there's new structured parking around the site, and we're trying to keep all the cars on the perimeter on the site and have the center for pedestrian only use. Next. So the best way to explain this is to just show before and after images. Here you are standing in the parking lots. Like I said, 50 acres of asphalt. So this is the before. And next slide. And then this is the after. So you could see the main portion of Metropolitan Park moving straight from the 7 train. You see City Field on the right. You see the integrated resort on the left and the hotel towers, which were made to be a kind of skyline of the city. And the design of the project was really to make a civic building that sits in the park, something far more like Lincoln Center rather than something that is not of the DNA of New York. Next. When you get off the 7 train at the Willets Point station, it's a pretty tough station. There aren't elevators. The ramps are difficult. There's a lot of up and down. This is what you first see when you get off the train. Next. And this is what you will see when you get off the train in the rebuilt MTA station. There'll be a raised plaza. It will come out. There will be ramps, elevators, bridges, accessibility, and the ability to get across and through the station outside of the fare zone so that it makes a continuous public access from Flushing Meadow Corona Park to City Field and the integrated resort and the soccer stadium. Next. Looking back at the station, this is what it looks like today. Next. And here you could see the newly rebuilt MTA station. And then on the left side is a food hall that we're calling the Taste of Queens that has a lot of local offerings of food and at very different price points, and becomes a public market for the entire community. Next. This is looking towards the east, towards where the soccer stadium will go. You could see it's all parking lot today. Next. And then here you see the Taste of Queens food hall. The park continues along the right field side of City Field and makes a wonderful, generous, open public space to get from the train station to Willets Point East and to the soccer stadium. Next. Here you are down in the middle of the parking lots along the left field side of City Field. Next. And what it will be like in that 25-acre park when it is completed. Really, we've worked a lot with the community on programming and everything, and it's really coming together quite well. Next. And then the east-west connections along Roosevelt. There's a lot of broken sidewalks. There's places where there are no sidewalks. There's no dedicated bike lanes. There's, chain link fences. And the next slide, please. That's the before. And then the after. We're setting the integrated resort back so that there's a lot of natural sunlight on both sides. There's separated dedicated bike lanes. There's playing fields and courts and places to sit, playgrounds for kids, really making a kind of an ability for people from Corona to Flushing to connect across Roosevelt and bring the community together. Next. And then this is on the south field, it's on the south side of the 7 train. This is the current condition. Next. And here you can see all the playing fields and ball courts that we are proposing. Next. So also, incredible climate resistance. The strategy was the entire site is in the floodplain. So we were building garages on the lower levels to lift all new structures up out of the floodplain. Making it a park is actually really good because when there is a storm surge or any kind of flooding, it's the park that absorbs the water and then lets it get back into the bay. We're doing native plant species. We're holding water on the roofs for irrigating the park. So there is a very, very strong climate strategy around the entire project. Next. And then I'd like to turn it over to David Karnofsky to talk about the specific mapping actions. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm David Karnofsky from Fried Frank. We are Land Use Counsel to the project. As Julissa said, we are requesting approval of 2 land use actions, a city map change and a zoning map amendment. These actions would make Metropolitan Park eligible to apply for the gaming license as part of the state process Chair Riley described. Next. Next. Today, the site is mapped as parkland, shown in dark blue, and it's bordered to the west by the Grand Central Parkway, which is mapped as street. Next. The city map change has several interrelated parts. The first is a park demapping. The portion of the parkland that will be demapped is shown in light blue and corresponds to the footprint of the entertainment facility, the integrated resort that Greg described, as well as vehicular ramps that will lead to and from that facility. Now, portions of those ramps would rise above Shea Road, which is a park road, and those are shown in light blue. The park demapping would also include the footprint of a new ramp to the Grand Central Parkway, located across the Whitestone Expressway, north of the entertainment facility. The footprint of this new ramp would then be remapped as street. There is also a street demapping of 2 open areas of the mapped Grand Central Parkway that are not used for street purposes today. The first, a sliver shown in pink on this diagram, forms a portion of the on-ramp that will lead to the entertainment facility. The second area is shown in yellow. It would be demapped as street and then remapped as park. So those are the portions of the action that relate to city map changes. Next. The second action is a zoning map amendment to establish the zoning district designation for the entertainment facility. Under the citywide zoning text amendment adopted by this council, the C84 district is one of the districts where a state licensed gaming facility would be a permitted use, and therefore we're proposing to zone the site C84. Next. I just want to say a little bit about the interrelationship between the ULURP, the alienation legislation, and the license from a timing and sequencing standpoint. First, the state gaming process requires approval of all land use zoning, local land use requirements prior to consideration of a license, which is why we're here today pursuant to ULURP. Alienation legislation is required for the parkland demapping that we propose, and we are pursuing that concurrently with the ULURP. To be clear, though, if approved by the City Council, the city map change will only take effect if legislation is adopted and a license is granted, and the City Planning Commission approval provides for that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Sully.
Thank you, David. First, let me thank Chairman Riley, Councilman Moya for your tireless leadership to really transform the area around City Field. The new soccer stadium is going to be beautiful, transformative, and we're really excited about our project to help try to tie together all these great sports venues. So thank you for your leadership. Councilmember Schulman, thank you for your input every step of the way. Really appreciate the council's attention. Look forward to your questions. Next slide. Next slide. What we're doing with this project is basically taking 50 acres of asphalt parking lots, taking half the land, 25 acres of it, and building a brand new 25-acre New York City public park. We are building it for the Parks Department. We will maintain it long-term and provide the public safety for the park. We're going to create 23,000 union jobs throughout this project and over 6,000 full-time union jobs once the project is open. To my brothers and sisters in labor here today who are going to staff this building for us when it opens, we appreciate you being here and we appreciate your support. As Greg talked about, we're going to, as part of a community benefits package, completely transform the MTA station. We're going to build a live music venue, 5,000-seat venue, so that we can do concerts not just when the Mets are away a couple times a summer, but year-round. We're going to have lots of great food options. We're going to have an MWBE local hiring requirement of a minimum of 30%, but we've committed to our borough president that the goal is 35 and beyond. If we hire from the neighborhoods around us, we're going to blow these numbers out of the water. We sit in the middle of one of the most diverse neighborhoods on earth, and we have committed to local hiring and have a number of local hiring partners that is going to help us with this. Next slide. We believe this is the best site in New York City for a project of this kind. As Jalissa mentioned, we're right next to LaGuardia Airport. We're at the intersection of 3 major highways. We're at the intersection of these 3 great sports venues, the New York Mets, the new soccer stadium for the New York City Football Club, and the U.S. Tennis. We're on the 7 line. We're on the Long Island Railroad. And thanks to Councilmember Moya's leadership and our borough president's involvement, we're pursuing a new ferry service to the site. Really an ideal location from the perspective of mass transit and accessibility for a project like this. Next slide. This is a wall-to-wall union project. We've signed MOUs, agreements, car check neutrality agreements with our brothers and sisters in labor. This will be a wall-to-wall union project, not just in construction, but for the full-time, long-term employment of the building as well. Next slide. Next slide. As part of this project, we've made a $1.1 billion and counting commitment to our local community. It includes $320 million to build the brand new 25-acre New York City public park, athletic fields and ball courts that we've workshopped with the neighbors around us. We're spending $480 million to transform the MTA station that Greg just showed you and make the climate infrastructure investments that he described. A $163 million community benefit fund that will throw off dollars every year over the history of the project to support local community groups in the neighborhoods around us. $150 million to build the Taste of Queens food hall and community space that Greg just showed you, and $25 million in one-time neighborhood and projects, including a health clinic and youth and senior services for our neighbors. Next slide. In closing, I just want to say we view this as a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform the area around Citi Field. As Jalissa said at the outset, this is a long-term lease that runs till 2105. We're sitting on 50 acres of asphalt parking lots. If we fail to advance this project, we're going to have 50 acres of asphalt parking lots sitting around Citi Field for at least the next 81 years. This is the once-in-a-generation opportunity to use one of these 3 gaming licenses to completely transform the area around Citi Field. And I believe we can do more with one of these gaming licenses than any of the other opportunities the state will see and the city will see to really deliver community benefits and transform the area around us for the good of our community and all of New York. Thank you. I appreciate you, Mr. Chairman, and look forward to your questions.
Thank you so much. Before I turn it over to Councilmember Moy, I just have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
I know you stated a lot of this for the record, but I'm just going to ask it for the record so you can reinstate it. I realize you touched on this issue, but can you please restate for everyone why you're seeking these land use approvals now and not waiting to see if you are actually awarded a license?
The state licensing process set forth in the state gaming law is very clear that in order to be eligible for the award of a license, we must obtain our local zoning and land use approvals prior to the consideration by the state entities that you outlined in your opening remarks. So that's why we're here today.
Thank you. It is important to clarify the relationship between the rezoning you are asking for and the parkland alienation that you need to obtain from the state to go forward with this proposal. What happens if the council approves this rezoning, but the state legislature does not approve the alienation?
The effectiveness of any approval of the city map amendments by the city council is contingent on the receipt of legislation and the award of the license. So the City Planning Commission adopted in favor with a condition that basically said that the city map changes would not take effect unless and until a license is awarded. In turn, a license can't be awarded unless the state legislation has been received. So that's the way it works.
What happens if the council approves this rezoning, the state legislature approves the parkland alienation, but the state does not award you a gaming facility license? Can you confirm that you would not be able to redevelop the site based on the rezoning?
That is correct.
Again, to be very clear, you agree that if you are not awarded a gaming facility license by the state, then the approvals you are seeking today will serve no purpose.
That is correct. They are all linked to the award of a license. If there is no license, they will have no effect.
What will happen at the development site if the Queens Future Project does not receive one of the 3 downstate gaming licenses?
We won't have the permission to build anything else on the land, and it will likely remain a parking lot, at least for the next 81 years.
If we seek approval of these land use approvals you're seeking, what is the next step for this proposal?
It's a great question. So there's a bunch of simultaneous actions going on. We're obviously working through all our entitlements. We need to pass a permitted use bill in Albany, which we'll be working on throughout this session. And then, Mr. Chairman, as you outlined in your opening remarks, we then have to go through the CAC series of hearings and then votes later this summer. Then ultimately it goes to the Location Siting Board and then ultimately to the Gaming Commission to determine whether they want to give us a license or not. So this is a long process, and this question and debate around the gaming aspects of this will happen this summer as part of that CAC, Community Advisory Council process.
Thank you so much. I will now recognize Councilmember Moyer for some questioning.
Thank you, Chair Riley. Thank you again for the presentation. And I just got a couple of questions before we turn it over to the colleagues here. Going back to Parkland, how much area of Parkland would be demapped? And will it be replaced with the equivalent area of public parkland in any other location?
The amount of parkland that would be demapped to facilitate the entertainment facility that was described is 25 acres. The amount of usable parkland that would be created through the project would be the same amount.
Great, thank you. And how will the new parkland space be operated and maintained? Will it have the same hours as comparable to a public park?
Yes, it will be a New York City public park, and so the Parks Department is going to set the rules for the park, the operating and maintenance standards that we'll have to, live up to in terms of maintaining the park for them.
Great. And then during the ULURP, the project team has committed to making significant contributions in community benefits, which you just mentioned. Is there a vision for some kind of oversight or body to track these commitments over time?
Yes, we're going to have a 7-person local committee that will be established based on proximity to the site. We've committed to both community boards 3 and 7, immediately proximate to us, to have representation where they can appoint somebody to be on that committee. But, Councilmember, we're also, as part of our RFA application to the state, including the $163 million community benefit fund. So the ultimate enforcement mechanism is the gaming license itself, our ability to maintain the ability to operate the project, and then ultimately to get a license renewal down the road. So this is something that we're committing to as part of the overall project, and ultimately enforceable by the Gaming Commission as well.
Great, thank you. Glad to hear that. And also, can we go to traffic for a minute? Could you describe the traffic circulation of the proposed site, how you made your design choices, and how will the new circulation work on game days? If you need me to ask again, I'm happy to do
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to bring up my last slide of the site plan, but that may help David, our consultant from VHB, explain that.
One moment before you start testifying, David. Could you please raise your right hand? Could you please state your name for the record?
David Quart.
You swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony today in response to council member questions?
Yes.
If you could go forward just one slide, please.
I'm gonna go. So, the current roadway network, as you know, Councilmember Moya, is an aged network. It was originally laid out to serve the World's Fair, and it works fine today when we're thinking about one-way traffic, which is really how it functions. Everyone's coming to the Mets game at the same time, and everyone's leaving the Mets game at the same time. But a big part, as Greg started to describe, as his team laid this out, a big part of the way we planned the project was to make sure that we could accommodate two-way traffic at all different times of the day, and that's how this is really laid out. So the key part of traffic circulation here is getting people to and from the site at any given time of the day and not having them go through the local roadways. So if someone is coming or leaving the garage at the Northfield garage, they'll be directed there from the Whitestone or from the Grand Central Parkway, and they can get out of that garage and directly with our realigned roadway, with the new Grand Central Parkway ramps and the realignment of those ramps, they can get directly from the garages to the highways without going through the local roadway network, so that we're ensuring as much free flowing of traffic as possible, people coming to and from the site, and also ensuring that people going visiting Flushing Meadow Corona Park or other local trips can continue to do that at the same time as well. So there are a lot of improvements here that are being made for traffic flow, enhancing safety, and the like, to make sure that the project can function as best as possible.
Great, thank you. And also, most of the project is in the mapped coastal floodplain, and the areas of Flushing Meadows Corona Park suffers from regular nuanced flooding. I know you mentioned some of this in the presentation, but can you go back and describe the flood resiliency of the proposed project and how flood risk influenced the design?
Yes. So when Citi Field was built, the floodplain was lower.
Yeah.
Now it's 13 feet higher. So what we did was we said, let's leave the first level of parking as it is on the field, build one more level up, and then build the base level of the entertainment district. So it brings it up 20-something feet out of it. And then we're going to be putting in storm sewers and other infrastructure for sustainability issues, and also the park itself, because the species and the soil actually help absorb water in a small or large storm. So by lifting everything out of the park, lifting it out of the floodplain, berming the park up, creating that ability to capture water and then release it back in, that's what gives us the sustainable strategy.
Great, thank you. And do you also have an outline of the project timeline, assuming approvals and licenses get done? When do you think you would expect construction to begin?
We are doing in advance, at risk, the design work to be ready to go shovels in the ground in January of 26. That would put us on track to be able to deliver the project in its build year, which is the year 2030.
Got it, thank you. And would the improvements to the Mets Willett subway station be built before, during, or after the main entertainment complex?
So Like the Community Benefit Fund I mentioned a minute ago, the MTA station improvements will be part of our RFA submission to the state. So we're going to have to deliver that project as part of the overall opening of the overall facility. So we will be in parallel making those improvements as we're building the resort, and we will deliver the new train station at the same time we're doing the grand opening for the overall project. So it will all be done in parallel.
Great. And do you have any estimates about how long construction for the new Grand Central Parkway ramps would take, and would traffic lanes be reduced during that time? Sorry, I should have asked that before I had you go sit back down again. Apologies.
We're all good. We're all a team here. It all works fine. Yeah, so the active construction of those ramps would probably take between 6 months and a year. It will be coordinated with the rest of the activities that are happening on the site. I think a key to note is with the new ramp, there would not be any sort of reduction of traffic lanes. Obviously, it will all be staged and phased, but for almost the entirety of that construction period, there would not be any closure of or reduction of traffic lanes during that period of time. We can maintain that.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was it. I'm not going to ask you any more
You're gonna
questions. You're going to have to go back and
I'm
forth
here.
anymore after this.
I need my steps.
And lastly, also, if you guys can just please describe what the lease agreement would be between the applicant and the city for the development site.
Well, the lease would be a lease with Queens Future for a long-term lease agreement based on the city's standard form of lease as adapted for the project. And the key aspects of it would require Queens Future to comply with all of the construction and development that it is including in its RFA proposal to ensure that it actually happens.
Thank you. And could you clarify the proposed tax incentives or financing programs being provided by the city?
This is a publicly funded project. My boss, Steve Cohen, and Hard Rock International, our partner, are committing to build this project. Private. I said pub. Private investment from Steve Cohen and our partner, Hard Rock International.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Moyer. I just want to state for the record, we've been joined by Councilmember Carr. Councilmember Shulman?
Yes. Hi, everyone. How many union jobs will result from this project, and how will you support local businesses?
Thanks for the question, Councilmember. It's 23,000 jobs, about 17,000 to build it, about 6,100 or so to staff it long-term. We're going to need a lot of local small business vendors to help support this project. Hard Rock has already been on-site in the neighborhoods around us doing vendor fairs to help make our local small businesses in Queens aware of these different opportunities. We've signed up a number of different local workforce development partners that are also going to help us with this. It's everything you can imagine, council member, local florists to put flowers on the tables in the conference and meeting areas. It's local laundromats to help wash sheets and towels. It's locksmiths. It's every kind of local vendor you can imagine, over 90 of them that we're going to need to partner with to help us with this project.
Are you working with the Queens Chamber of Commerce?
We are. We are very proud to have the strong support of the Queens Chamber. They've been present at every community board meeting, speaking out in favor of this project. Tom Gretsch has really just been a tremendous ally, and we really appreciate their support, but also that connection that they bring us to our local small businesses. It's a team effort, and we're really proud to have them helping us.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any more council members with any questions? Okay. All right. There being no council members with any questions, this panel is now excused. Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person for this proposal?
Yes, Chair, we have quite a few people here to testify in person and online. So just to make it clear to everybody, first, thank you for coming out today. We will start with in-person testimony, and there are approximately 40 people, and then we will move to online testimony. I'm specifying that for the people online in case you are listening. So we're providing about 2 minutes per person, so it might take a bit of time before we can do the online testimony. Also, just before the chair calls the first panel, Is Sean Caffery, who was part of the applicant team, were you planning on testifying? No, okay. Thank you. And last clarification, as we will follow our usual protocol, which is to start with people in opposition and then in panels of 4, and then we will follow it up by folks who have signed up in favor of this application.
Thank you, counsel. For members of the public here to testify, please note that witnesses will generally be called in panels of 4. If you are a member of the public, sign up to testify on this proposal. Please stand by when you hear your name being called and prepare to speak when I indicate you may begin. Please also note, once all panelists in your group have completed their testimony, if remotely, you will be removed from the meeting as a group, and the next group of speakers will be introduced. Once removed, participants may continue to view the live stream broadcast of this hearing on the council's website. Members of the public will be given 2 minutes to speak. When you hear the clock winding down, please finish your remarks within 5 seconds after the clock. Thank you. Please do not begin until the Sergeant at Arms has started the clock. The following individuals who signed up to testify should now come to the witness table. We will start first with John Park, Andrew Sokoloff, Michelle Burke, and Amy Rosato.
Chair, if I may, because I forgot, we do have another room as we ran out of seats. So if you're in the other room and you just heard your name, please come to this main room.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys may approach the panel. Thank you. Okay. You can start from left to right. Can you just please reinstate your name for the record before you begin? Well, I guess my left, but you can start. It's all right.
Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm Amy Rosato. Okay. Good morning, council members. My name is Amy Rosato, and I'm a homeowner in East Elmhurst and a public school parent. Please vote no on the Queens Future LLC ULURP application to demap and rezone public parkland for a casino. This is a choice between protecting the Queens we love by voting no, or embracing a future with more crime, traffic, pollution, lower property values, and strained local businesses and cultural institutions, not to mention the families destroyed by an increase in problem gambling, risky behavior, and displacement. This project will irreversibly harm our community with no public benefit. A $163 million community improvement fund is pocket change for a billionaire. Although billionaire Steve Cohen and his 14 lobbying firms have manufactured a perception of public support, the majority of the public does not want this project as the harms outweigh the benefits. It goes against our most pressing needs, including those documented by community boards like mine that voted for the project. For instance, according to the Queens Community Board 3 Expense and Capital Priorities Fiscal Year 2026 report, the #1 most pressing issue for us is crime and public safety. Casinos lead to an increase in crime. This is undisputed. Dr. John Kent found that crime increases about 10% each year every year in locales with casinos. And what is worse, a study by MIT found that 8.6% of property crime and 12% of violent crime in counties with casinos are due to the presence of a casino. We don't want or need this. Our third most pressing issue is street flooding. Queens Future is a 3.7 million square foot mega development on a wetland which will make street flooding in our neighborhoods worse. It doesn't conform to the unified stormwater rules and regulations and will contribute to additional combined sewer overflows into Flushing Bay. Oversimplifying the choice as one between a park or a parking lot is quite frankly insulting and dismisses the broader negative impacts on our community. Vote no to protect the people of Queens.
Okay, my name is Andrew Sokolov Diaz. I'm the co-founder of the 89th Street Tenants Unidos Association in Jackson Heights, Queens. representing over 500 residents and homeowners in Jackson Heights. I'm also a lifelong Queens resident, now raising my family there as well. And our volunteer-driven group fights for dignified, affordable housing and against displacement while providing mutual aid in our community. We strongly oppose the Queens Futures ULURP for a massive casino and hotel complex on public land at Flushing Meadows Corona Park. And as part of the Fed Up Coalition, we urge you to vote no or refer it back to CPC with recommendations as is within the ability of this committee. This is a bad bet for Queens. The impacts of a second casino in our borough have not been properly studied. Displacement effects have been ignored, and the social harms to our immigrant communities are clear. Our youth and seniors deserve a park that's invested in, not a casino designed to drain money and fuel gambling and addiction issues. Billionaire Steve Cohen and co. is going all out, hiring the most lobbyists in the entire state to push this through, per city and state this week. This casino complex would extract wealth from our working class communities, overwhelm our already maxed out 7 train, and worsen our air quality. It would also overtax our sewer system, sending tons of raw sewage into Flushing Bay. Meanwhile, the required environmental quality review ignores the socioeconomic effects on our community. This process is being rushed, and you have the power to stop it. You'll hear a lot today about jobs from paid supporters, but the casinos don't create real economic growth. Hard Rock Casino's partner is actively union busting. So what jobs are we talking about here? Low-wage service sector jobs with no future? Come on, Queens deserves better. We ask you to vote no, or at minimum demand modifications based on the Phoenix Meadows Vision Plan, 100% stormwater capture, no loss of public parkland, no increase in parking spaces, and better local connectivity. We need adequate spaces for our local vendors, yes. But this is a moment of consciousness. Please do the right thing for Queens. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and the subcommittee. My name is John Park. I'm the Executive Director of the Min Kwan Center for Community Action, which has served immigrant and working class Asian American communities in Flushing and Queens. And we also have a site in New Jersey for over 40 years. We urge you to vote no on the Metropolitan Park zoning application amendments, which would enable a casino on public parkland against the will and well-being of our communities. I also raise a family in Flushing. My kids are, go to a local school, PS 79 Elementary School. You have to ask yourself, do you want a casino that close within a stop next to all your high schools with your kids, right? Flushing had the lowest PPP success rates of any neighborhood in New York City. I'm just kind of talking about the area around there. It also had 28 times the poverty compared to the rest of New York City coming out of COVID. This was the Undue Poverty Coalition and funded by Robin Hood Studies. Queens Future Socioeconomic Study only examined a minimum required quarter-mile radius, excluding communities most at risk. It ignored communities like Flushing and Corona, where rising rents are displacing residents as we speak and forcing out our small businesses. That's why the Undue Poverty Coalition even existed. This is before the casino because we're having economic troubles, even recovering from the pandemic. So residents on both sides of the park have already voiced their opinions and rejected the casino. We did an exit poll along with AllDef. For a lot of areas in CB7, 70% rejected it. No, it's actually 68.5 said we don't want this. These are the voters during election day. Okay, and then we only had 2 questions. The second question was what's your position on the casino? The second question is, would this affect your future vote on people, on who you're gonna? And 70% said yes, which means this: the people and the families in these other areas, even they know that they're going to be impacted by this, and they should be included in the zoning. I'm asking people to vote no.
Honorable council members, thank you for having me here. My name is Michelle Lau Burke. I'm a mother of 2, and I'm speaking on behalf of Jackson Heights Indivisible. My statement has been endorsed by 170 of my neighbors, and I have copies of their names that I can provide as well. We fully support the concerns raised by Guardians of Flushing Bay and Fed Up Coalition, which I'm sure they'll present today. Despite the misleading name Queens Future, the crux of this plan is to bring a predatory casino into our communities. The casino will extract wealth from residents of all socioeconomic classes, particularly targeting vulnerable groups to benefit a billionaire. Many studies show that problem gambling disproportionately harms people living in lower income neighborhoods and exacerbates poverty and inequality. Research also shows that proximity to a casino correlates with higher rates of gambling addiction, which is linked to domestic violence, child neglect, debt, bankruptcy, depression, and suicide. With so many seniors and immigrants living near the proposed site, this project is not development, it's exploitation. Research also indicates that crime rates are higher in counties with casinos compared to those without. This community consultation process has been riddled with conflicts of interest. Queens Future LLC, billionaire Steve Cohen and Hard Rock International spent nearly $3 million in 2 years lobbying for this casino, the highest lobbying expenditure in New York City in both years. Local community boards, including mine, Community Board 3, have been targeted, with some members even working as paid consultants, community board members, as paid consultants to the developers. Now, these biased votes are being used to manufacture a perception of community's consent for a predatory casino when there is none. The project also lacks enforceable community benefits. There's no binding agreement to hold developers accountable, only vague promises with oversight left to the same state agency that grants the license. I also want to say a few words in my personal capacity as someone with a close family member, a parent, who has battled a gambling addiction for 20 years. I know firsthand how problem gambling ruins lives and devastates families. Hard Rock's so-called safeguards, employee training, and self-exclusion forms are tokenistic PR tactics, not solutions. This is not the future Queens
Michelle,
deserves.
can you wrap it up, please?
I urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for Andrew. You stated in your remarks that this was a rush process. During the presentation, it stated that they did a 4-year outreach to the community. And I know the ULURP process, which is a process that we're in right now, gives the community a specific time to have outreach. So I just wanted you to clarify, what did you mean by this being a rush project?
Sure. Thanks, Councilmember. It's a good question. So we have a process that came out in the middle of COVID, right, when people were still reeling, especially Corona Queens, which was the epicenter of the epicenter, right? So if you discuss any of these events and meetings and the people who were invited to those meetings, the yes people who remain part of that coalition to support it, that's one thing. Sure, that's their events, right, where they had them, not in the community per se. But if you speak to us, we are the community, right? We represent a coalition of people. We are in your schools. We are the community. We're the nonprofits. We provide the mutual aid. So ask people in the hood, have they heard about this casino coming? They're gonna be like, no. We thought Jessica Ramos helped stop it. Like, what's going on? We don't want a casino. What's good? So that's the vibe, and that's the answer you get from people on the street. Ask the churches, same thing.
Okay, thank you. Do any other council members have questions for this panel? There being no questions, this panel is excused. Thank you so much for your testimony. The next panel I'm going to call up consists of Rolando.
Sorry, I think someone left their phone up here. I just want to.
Oh, did someone leave their phone up here?
It looks like this.
Okay.
Just want to.
All right, thank you. The next panel consists of Rolando Rendon Quintero, former council member Costa Constantinides. So, excuse me, Costa. I used to call him Costa when he was here. That's why. I'm sorry, everyone. Seth Bernstein and Nicole Lebedes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ms. Nicole, you may begin, and then you can just press the button on the mic, please.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. little nervous my first time. My name is Nicole Lavadis. I am a lifelong Flushing resident. I also attended school in Corona and Jackson Heights, so I know both areas very well. I have the fortunate experience of knowing Flushing when it was Flushing, when there were a lot of things going on for youth, for seniors, for everyone that came to the area. Right now, there is nothing going on. For people to say, and everybody has their own opinion, for us to just have, they keep saying parkland. It has never been a park. It has always been a parking lot. You know, and I understand those are just words, but there has never been a park that you can go to and sit and enjoy. It was just been asphalt. Right now, it is not safe. It is crime riddled. If you look up on the news, Roosevelt Avenue is full of prostitution. They constantly close it down, and it is constant. What they propose is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our youth, for our seniors, for the whole community to have jobs, to have a place to be able to socialize. Right now, people don't have money. Everything is uncertain. To be able to have someplace you can walk to and just get a breath of fresh air would be a comfort to most people. There is no place for people to bring their children. I am a director of a community center. Right now, we're getting ready to plan summer trips. I am afraid. I do not know where to take my participants. I would not be able to even walk there right now with them. If this comes through, this would be an opportunity for everyone, not just one demographic. Flushing has Jackson Heights, Corona. There's a lot of different people that live there, that come there. We need a change. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rolando Cantero, and I'm a proud hospitality worker and a member of the Hotel Gaming Trades Council. I'm here on behalf of my union testify in support the Western Rail Yards project. This project gives us our city an opportunity to create thousands of very high quality jobs, including permanent hospitality jobs like mine. These jobs will be lift out New Yorkers and boost economic activity and our city needs. And now, a city needs now more than ever. I urge you to vote yes in this application. Thank you.
Go ahead, Costa.
Thank you, Chair Riley. So it's like to sit on this side of the table. It's a little strange. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, council members, for giving me the opportunity to testify this morning. I'm a lifelong Queens resident. And as someone that's been to 28 out of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums, I'll say that Queens is way behind of where we should be. If you go to Atlanta, you go to Chicago, they've built entire communities where you can go and spend an entire day at the ballpark. Right now, you can't do that in Queens. Right now, you go to a game and you leave. We're in the process of changing that with Councilmember Moya's vision for a Stockard Stadium and arena. We're going to change the community for the better. We'll be able to take my son and go play catch, have a nice lunch, go catch a game, and then I'll be able to bring them home and find a babysitter for my new daughter and take my wife out for a night of entertainment. This is the possibilities that Queens deserves. The jobs are what Queens deserves. When you talk about parking and the environment, the only park in this place is in the sign that says parking above it. This is an asphalt parking lot, no more, no less. We have the opportunity to turn it into a green space that can be a carbon sink, can reduce the ambient temperature in the neighborhood, that can capture stormwater, that can make us more resilient and more sustainable. And lastly, I'll talk about gambling. My father had a very serious gambling problem with us growing up. Like I was, he was a VP at Brankers Trust. Everyone saw him as a strong, upstanding member of the community, but he would go at night to underground gambling clubs. I got beaten up at 16 years old by a bookie. When anyone can gamble right now on their phone and lose everything, they can go to an underground gambling club. I'd rather be with Hard Rock and have controlled gambling in our communities have the opportunity to have someone that's looking over things rather than the Wild West, which exists anyway right now. This is an opportunity for this community to be able to look at this and say, we're not going to be able to solve every problem, but this is a once-in-generation opportunity for jobs, for community, for environment, and for what the needs of the neighborhood. Queens deserves this. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Seth Bornstein. I'm the Executive Director of the Queens Economic Development Corporation, and been part of the organization since 1979. I'm here to voice my support for the project. I've witnessed many changes in the borough over the decades. Economic development means growth that serves and benefits our borough, or as the late borough president, Claire Shulman, my mentor, used to say, puts bread on the table for the people of Queens. This is crucial if we are to remain a world-class center that fuses energy, commerce, and culture. A project like Metropolitan Park would have been unfathomable 25 years ago, even 10 years ago, but so much has changed. Geographically, educationally, and socially, our borough is coming to its own, as demonstrated by the growth of our hubs, Long Island City, Jamaica, and Flushing. We are the region's largest transportation center with newly rebuilt airports. Our schools, public and private, from grade school to grad school, turn out students qualified and eager to join the workforce. And as the most diverse county in the world, we have the language and cultural skills to succeed globally. Metropolitan Park will harness the energy of this population and provide jobs for thousands of young people, many first and second generation New Yorkers seeking careers in their own borough. This is true across all skill sets, from entry-level jobs to highly technical positions. Our businesses will be the beneficiary of this vast investment, not just in the construction period, but in the decades to come. In doing so, many small businesses will transform to mid-sized and bigger businesses, expanding their workforce and increasing their tax revenues. The bottom line is that we have a chance to transform one of the largest tracts of underutilized land in this city and turn it into an economic engine that future generations will thank us for. Let's not squander this opportunity.
Thank you so much. There being no questions for this panel is excused. You did a good job, Ms. Karen, all right? I just want to state for the record, we're joined virtually by Councilmember Abreu. The next panel I'm going to call up consists of Rebecca Pryor, Annie Lowe, Margaret Flanagan, and Paul Paliza.
If you heard your name and you're in the overflow room, please come to the main room.
Okay.
Maybe what you can do is announce the next four so that if they're in the overflow, they can
Gotcha. Okay. The following panel will consist of former Councilmember Danny Drum, Dennis Ibra, Ted Teng, and Helen Jang. That will be the following panel. Paul Paliza. Okay. We could get started. You may begin. Just state your name for the record.
My name's Rebecca Pryor.
Oh, Rebecca, just press the button, please.
My name's Rebecca Pryor. Okay.
There you go.
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Pryor, the Executive Director for the Guardians of Flushing Bay. Thank you to the Council for the opportunity to comment on the Queens Future ULURP application. Upon review of the applicant's environmental impact statement, Guardians believes that the proposed project's impacts are so profound that the project should not receive ULURP approval. I'm going to note two key concerns here. The first is that the project fails Flushing Meadows Corona Park. The project is in Flushing Meadows Corona Park, which is formed in the path of Flushing Creek. Any development of the site should be considered by its merit of being an investment in the parkland and aligning with park design and uses. Queens Future's Vegas-like casino fails on all counts. Queens Future proposes to privatize 77 acres of public parkland for a sprawling hotel and casino complex that includes 9-story parking garages and 15 to 26-story hotels. While Queens Future promises a 20-acre park, the main area that the developers claimed will be a park is actually a 7-acre, privately owned, steeply graded plaza tucked in between a hotel complex and the Citi Field Stadium. Number 2, the project fails Flushing Bay. Flushing Bay receives over 2 billion gallons of raw sewage and polluted stormwater every year through an overwhelmed sewer system and stormwater system. The development will increase sanitary sewage demand on the Bowery Bay wastewater treatment plant and will dump more sewage and stormwater into one of the largest overflow pipes in the city. Queens Future also fails to give sufficient clarity in their FEIS into how it will comply with the city's unified stormwater rule. If the City Council chooses to vote yes on this project, we are calling on you to, as council members, to include the following recommendations. The first is to include an acre-for-acre replacement of parkland. The second is to prohibit a casino on the development site, which we understand would change the zoning. The third is a meaningful study of indirect residential and commercial displacement. The fourth is a meaningful investment in public parkland in alignment with the Phoenix Meadows Vision Plan. And the fifth is a robust and transparent community benefits agreement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Pryor. Did we get Paul? He's not here? All right, thank you. You may begin. Just state your name for the record.
Hello, I'm Margaret Flanagan, a lifelong Queens resident and a guardian of Flushing Bay. Do not take previous levels of approval for this project as a sign of wider community support. The borough president received 70 written comments against this project and just 3 in support. Though jobs are actually not part of the technical ULURP analysis, speaking of jobs, workday hearings like this are very difficult for people to take off, but pretty easy to fill with your paid partners and consultants. This week, Crain's reported that in 2024, Queens Future was top of the list, spent the most of anyone lobbying, quote, dozens of city officials. Last year, Senator Ramos concluded from her survey it's been hard to find supporters who haven't, quote, received or been promised a check. I call on everyone testifying today to disclose if there is a financial or business relationship driving your support for the applicant. I have none. So I ask you to vote no on this demapping. The acres of green in the slideshow are already parkland. Demapping the casino part will make Flushing Meadows Park forever smaller. In response to your question, Sully used manipulative wordplay. There is a loss of legally designated acreage of parkland in this land use proposal, which is priceless to New Yorkers. That public open space, call it a park or a parking lot, it is our open space. Or if you do vote yes, modify it to require an acre-for-acre replacement of lost parkland. Vote no on the commercial zoning, which makes this an even worse deal. Multiply the commercial rent by the acreage, by the height, by the lease, and there are so many more billions of dollars in profit at stake, making the current benefits list crumbs. Or if you do vote yes, approve with modifications that $1 million community benefit is an annual contribution and helps cover the costs for city agencies like police, sanitation, and Department of Health. Please do not vote by deference, particularly considering the applicant's extreme lobbying and paid-for supporters. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lowe?
Good morning, council members, and thank you for the opportunity to testify. My name is Annie Lowe. I'm an attorney at the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund. We are a national organization that protects and promotes the civil rights of Asian Americans through litigation, advocacy, and organizing. ALDEF has a long history of land use and environmental justice work in New York City to safeguard the right of immigrant communities to live in a safe and affordable environment. One of our landmark lawsuits established the requirement for environmental review of new developments that may displace low-income tenants and small businesses. Today, ALDEF urges this subcommittee to disapprove the Queens Future map change and amendment. Community members in Queens first reached out to ALDEF with concerns about the project's potential to accelerate gentrification and displacement in the area. And ALDEF's 2024 exit polls subsequently found that nearly 70% of Asian American voters in New York and nearly half of all respondents from the Flushing area are strongly opposed to the casino proposal. The Queens Future project is at its core a proposal to site a casino and a luxury hotel amidst working-class immigrant communities, creating an influx of wealth tourism and an avenue for gambling in communities more vulnerable to gentrification than ever. The city's own racial equity data reveals that Flushing, Corona, and Elmhurst have the highest risk of displacement out of any neighborhoods in Queens. These neighborhoods each have non-white populations over 94%. Flushing and Corona have poverty rates over 50%, and their residents are severely rent burdened at rates higher than the city average. Flushing has recently experienced a surge in luxury condo and new rental unit development, the vast majority of which is market rate, which has ushered in a newer, wealthier population. As a result, the working class tenants of Flushing and other nearby communities are left more vulnerable to displacement than ever. However, the environmental review process for the Queens Future project failed to take the requisite hard look at the project's potential negative impacts, including indirect commercial and residential displacement. Despite pushback from residents and community groups on the socioeconomic conditions methodology, the EIS adopted a mere quarter-mile radius study area, most of which actually just encompassed Flushing Bay, Corona Park, and the Willets Point development. That means that the potential for displacement of small businesses and tenants is still unstudied, nor has the economic impact of the Queens Future Casino and Hotel's direct competition with small businesses in those communities been fully assessed. This proposal should not be approved without a hard look taken at these socioeconomic conditions as required by SEEKR. ALDEF respectfully requests that the subcommittee therefore disapprove the Queens Future Map Amendment and change.
Thank you. There being no questions for this panel is excused. The next panel I'm going to call up is former Councilmember Danny Drum, Helen Jang, Ted Tang, and Dennis Ibria. The following panel after that will consist of Alan Sherman, Judy Chase, Jesse Friedman, and Bishop Mitchell Taylor. Helen? Yes. Dennis? Yes. You may begin. Okay. Just make sure the mic is on.
How's that?
Yeah, just move it towards you.
Okay.
Thank
How's
you.
that? Good. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Dennis Ibrich. I represent thousands of hardworking men and women of the New York City District Council of Carpenters, including myself, who calls Queens home. I'm here to express my strong support for the Metropolitan Park proposal, a transformative project that will bring good-paying, family-sustaining union jobs to Queens, both during construction and for years to come. This development is more than just an economic engine. It's an opportunity to invest in the skilled workforce that keeps New York City growing. From the moment this project begins, it will be built with the hands of union tradespeople, men and women who dedicate their lives to their craft, ensuring the highest quality construction while upholding the strongest safety standards. Beyond the build-out, Metropolitan Park will provide long-term, stable union jobs that will support families across our communities. But the benefits don't stop at just job creation. Metropolitan Park will solidify Queens as the premier sports and entertainment destination for the region, with world-class attractions and state-of-the-art amenities, drawing visitors from across the city and beyond, further boosting local businesses and the borough's economy. This is the kind of responsible development that our city needs, one that prioritizes working people, will be the gateway for many to the middle class, and strengthens our communities for generations to come. I urge the committee to support this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Drum, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm former Councilmember Danny Drum, Chair of the Finance Committee, back when I was here in the City Council. As has been mentioned before, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to have additional park space. When I was in the City Council, in order to get additional park space in the neighborhood that I represented, which is right adjacent to City Field, I closed the street, bought a schoolyard from a private school, and it added, it actually doubled the size of the what we call Travis Park in that neighborhood. So having the opportunity to get additional park space in or near Flushing Meadows Corona Park is really valuable to us, and this will provide us with 25 additional acres. I want to say the 15,000 union jobs, very, very important to the community. 365-day use as well. That area from College Point Boulevard up to the Grand Central Parkway, nobody is there unless it's a game day or it is a tennis stadium day. So it would really provide entertainment, and business opportunities in that area. Having been the chair of the Immigration Committee here in the City Council, I'm very proud to say that Metropolitan Park will offer opportunities for vendors, which has become a problem in that area with the number of vendors in the area. This will give them an opportunity to sell whatever it is in the vendor space that Metropolitan Park will offer them. It'll give bike paths, additional athletic fields, which are not there now, a hotel will be there, job opportunities in the hotel, a music venue, meaning that those of us who don't always want to travel into the city will have the opportunity to have music and concerts in that area. And the community boards that surround that area, the Metropolitan Park area, have all approved the construction that will go on there. And finally, let me say that this is an $8 billion private investment, and we're not going to see that again. And by the way, I am a person who is not being paid any check to be here today. I'm here as a former council member and invested community member. And finally, let me just say that prohibition didn't work either. So this business that other people are bringing up about gambling and all that stuff is not going to, it doesn't work for me. Thank you.
Hi. So my name is Ted Tang. I'm representing the Taiwan Chamber of Commerce. First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak with the Honorable Board. I had a whole speech written out, but I kind of want to change it up because some of the comments that were made earlier. I also am not a paid representative of any sort with Queen's Chamber, Queen's Future or whatnot. I had an issue with the previous speakers who kind of positioned themselves as the voice of the community, despite the fact that over, I believe, 80% of the community board voted in favor of this project, despite the fact that even if you don't like gaming, the proposition was voted and passed upon. So for them to position themselves in that manner kind of draws a lot of questions. And I think the board will see the ratio of people who are here in opposition versus the people here for this project will show you who actually has the voice of the community. Furthermore, they were talking about the concepts of displacement. And when we think about affordable housing, there's really two ways. It's a supply and demand issue, all right? If we're running out of the resources, you either increase the supply, which means constantly building more affordable housing, or decreasing the demand by providing jobs like this project is going to do. So by providing those jobs, you are, in a sense, attacking those issues. I would also like to point out that the large minority does not represent the majority, okay? Just because they're loud doesn't mean they're the majority. I want to point that out, okay? Furthermore, I want to say that when it comes to these issues in terms of giving away the park, which we hear all the time, it's not giving away. This is a park, this is a land, not even a park, this is asphalt that's already under a lease. It's not giving anything away in addition. All right, some people keep saying giving it away. And then we hear this word billionaire being thrown around like it's a dirty word. Okay, here's the thing. You need contacts, you need networking, you need resources to do a project of this size. Find me a mom and pop person who can do this, fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Jang.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Helen Jang, Director of the Workforce Development, and I'm here today on behalf of Korean Community Service of Metropolitan New York to express our strong support for the Queen's Future Plan, a plan that holds the promise of not just transforming infrastructure, but changing lives across our board. For over 50 years, KCS has proudly serviced the immigrant communities of New York City. We are the longest and largest Korean nonprofit in New York City, and we have been here for those who need it most, empowering 1,700 individuals daily through programs focused on aging, mental health, public health, and workforce development. There's not just the services, they're the foundation of the economic resilience and opportunity for the most vulnerable members in our society. At KCS, we believe that economic empowerment begins with across the good jobs, stable, rewarding career that help people build their future. Our workforce development program is designed to give people the tools, confidence, and support they need to secure their job. Over 55 paid internship program trained 70 to 80 individuals every year, preparing them for long-term roles such as kitchen assistant, office assistant, teacher assistant, housekeeping assistant. This program isn't about temporary work. It's about the creating pathway to permanent employment, and every year over 25% of the participants go on to the secure long-term career that transform their lives. We don't stop there. Throughout the career readiness program, we give individuals the skills they need to drive computer and certificate digital marketing, home health aid. This work is already changing life. But the Queen's Future Plan offered the incredible opportunity to scale up our effort and create 100 high-quality jobs across sector. So the Queen's Future Plan isn't just about the new beginnings of expensive infrastructure.
You can start wrapping up, Ms. Fang.
Can I just?
Yeah, I said you can start wrapping up.
Okay, thank you. It's in the investment in people. It's an investment in creating high quality job and training opportunity that ensure economic mobility for immigrant community and in New Yorker. Thank you again for your time and your commitment to this vision. KCF is ready and eager to collaborate with you, bring this Queen's Future Plan to life. Together, we can create the brighter,
Thank you.
more equitable future. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No one has any questions for this panel. This panel is excused. The next panel we'll call up consists of Alan Sherman, Judy Chase, Jesse Friedman, and Bishop Mitchell Taylor. The following panel after that will consist of former New York City Comptroller William Thompson, Seni Hong Jung, Karen Wang, and Kai Shum. Okay? I would love to spend the entire afternoon with you all, but I have places to go as well, so I'm going to be keeping these 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes, please. As soon as you hear that bell, start wrapping up, please. Thank you so much. Bishop Taylor. Okay, there's Bishop Taylor. We can begin with Alan Sherman. Sorry, Alan, just make sure the mic is on, please.
Okay. My name is Alan Sherman, and I have been a resident of Queens since 1963. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you. I have seen many changes to Queens over the years, some good, some bad. I feel Metropolitan Park would be a great addition to Queens County. First, I find it funny that all the people who testify against the park due to addiction all have cell phones. Gambling on your cell phone is growing without anyone knowing what is going on behind closed doors. Will they get rid of their cell phones? Will they try to have gambling apps taken down? What about the addiction of alcohol and marijuana? All legal now. With the approval of the City of Yes, there will be a growth in building within our county. In Willets Point, they are building 2,500 affordable housing units right across the street from Citi Field and Metropolitan Park, next to the new Major League Soccer Stadium currently under construction. Next to housing, our beloved city needs jobs, jobs, jobs. We don't want to make the same mistake we made with Amazon. Where will these people work? The 7 subway line is one of the most overcrowded lines in New York City. If you check the numbers, there's not enough room on the trains for these people to commute to Manhattan for work. What better idea there than to have them employ these people, as well as other people from Queens, at Metropolitan Park? They can walk or bike to work. Thousands of good-paying union jobs will be available once Metropolitan Park is complete. This will also help local community and businesses in the surrounding neighborhoods. The 1964-65 New York World's Fair had the theme, "There's a great big beautiful tomorrow." Metropolitan Park is a great big beautiful tomorrow, the next generation. I can go on, but my time is up. I'm going to close with "Let's go Mets," "Let's go Queens," and "Let's
All right,
go
now your
Metropolitan
time is up. Now your time is up.
Park." Don't tell me you're a Yankee fan.
No, stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Come on, man. I'm a Bronx council member. You should have knew better than that. Next, we're gonna have Judy Chase.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I'm nervous. I wasn't expecting to speak in front of everybody. I'm also a lifelong Queens resident. Was born in Forest Hills, and I've moved all the way to Rego Park. Attended school and college all in Queens, and that's my son. He is as well. My three biggest passions in life are baseball, and I am involved in youth sports. I own a batting cage in Queens. I also run travel baseball teams and work at a parks facility in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Also a lifelong Mets fan. Let's go Mets. Food and music are my other passion. So anytime we go traveling because of our baseball teams or whatever we're doing, we're always seeking out restaurants, casinos, to be honest with you, and obviously baseball fields. And I think Costa said that going to other cities, the cities that we enjoy the most is when the baseball stadium is in the heart of the city with everything surrounding it. I know other cities are planning on doing this, but looking at the presentation that they have here for Metropolitan Park, it's awesome. And I'm not going to get into all the other things that people are talking about, flood zones. I know nothing about that. I just know that the only time I'm ever in that area now is to either go to a Met game or go to the New World Mall that's up the block on Roosevelt Avenue. It's a perfect place for people to spend time. Greenery, flowers, trees, not concrete. I don't understand how you would choose concrete over what's being presented here. Nothing is perfect. There's always going to be issues with whatever we do, but I think this is a no-brainer. Let's go Mets.
Thank you. Jesse?
Yeah, so as my mom said, I grew up in Queens, born and raised my whole life. And, I was a child in this area, and I went to Flushing Meadow. The only time I went to Flushing Meadow was to play a baseball game. I never went there for any other reason, for no entertainment, to have fun, nothing. It's dirty, it's disgusting. I think that if you look at any of the presentations that's going on and you have a pride of being from Queens, how can you say no? I mean, I just don't understand it. It represents what we are as Queens people, and right now, what's over there, it doesn't represent anything that we're about. As my mom said, we're into food and music and sports and entertainment, and I love going to the games. I love going to Citi Field. It's a lot of fun, but that's all I can do. I can go there, and then I can go home. And I think that, now that my childhood's over, I'm 33, the kids coming up now, to give them a great place to go and a great place to be and to grow up and to see all these incredible things instead of a dingy subway station, walk down the stairs, and here you are, Citi Field. I mean, there's a lot more to that area that can be. And right now, it is less than nothing besides a stadium. So I don't see how anyone could ever say no to something like this. Let's go Mets.
If one of you say "Let's go Mets" one more time. Bishop Taylor.
Well, good morning, Councilman Riley and Councilmember Moya and Councilmember Lynn Shulman. It is my privilege to be here on today to testify before the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchise. Let me say before I usually give my remarks extemporaneously because this is a very passionate project for me. I'm going to read today because I don't want to miss anything that has to be said. This is that important. My name, of course, is Bishop Mitchell Taylor. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Urban Upbound. Urban Upbound is a nonprofit organization that works to break cycles of poverty and catalyze economic mobility through business innovation, career development, financial empowerment, and key wraparound supports, particularly in public housing neighborhoods and other low-income neighborhoods around the city of New York. Urban Upbound strongly supports Queens Future, aka Metropolitan Park, which we believe will serve as a powerful economic engine and public realm upgrade for Queens and for our city as a whole. The Metropolitan Park project addresses a critical need for economic revitalization. Stagnant wages have created profound challenges for working families, especially as housing costs and other expenses continue to rise. This project will help bridge the gap, creating 23,000 good-paying union jobs throughout its construction and operation phases, offering stability to local families and enhancing our community's economic resilience. At Urban Upbound, we've already begun partnering with employers and unions to connect community members with these opportunities and setting them up for success through a mix of career planning, soft skills, hard skills training. Central to this project's design is the commitment to inclusive economic growth. Metropolitan Park's minority and women-owned business enterprise lending program is a bold step to provide historically marginalized entrepreneurs and access to contracting opportunities. This commitment reflects Urban Upbound's mission as well as our commitment with the Urban Upbound Federal
Bishop
Credit
Taylor, if you
Union.
could start wrapping it up for me, please.
And as we wrap up, we are looking forward to, as the Urban Upbound Federal Credit Union, providing small business loans to people that will connect to this project. And I would like to say anyone that wants to see this project not go forward must reconsider common sense. Thank you so much for this opportunity to testify in support of this project. Thank you.
There being no questions for this panel is excused. Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you.
Our next panel will consist of former New York City Comptroller William Thompson, Seni Hong Jung, Karen Wang, and Kai Shum. The following panel will consist of Michael Del Valera, Joseph Stucconi, Winston Leo, and Joseph Lamb. That will be the following panel. You may begin.
Good morning, Chair Kevin Riley and council members of the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchise. Thank you for giving me opportunity to speak.
Can you just state your name for the record? Sorry.
My name is Sam Jung, Seung-ho Jung. I'm here on behalf of Hamilton Medicine House in support of the Metropolitan Park project. We believe Metropolitan Park isn't just a vision for development, it's a vision for jobs and economic growth. With 23,000 union jobs projected during construction and 7,000 permanent union jobs once completed. This project will provide stable, good-paying jobs that our community needs. I work as a supportive housing program manager at Hamilton Medicine House, one of New York City's leading behavioral health clinics specialized serving the Asian American community. Since 1983, we operated an outpatient behavioral health clinic, supportive housing at 108 1148 Avenue in Corona, as well as substance use disorder and problem gambling clinic on the Lower East Side. We are grateful for the way Metropolitan Park has engaged our organization. They have shown a sincere commitment to understanding what the community wants and needs to thrive here. Through this project, we see real chance to expand our clinic reach and deepen our impact. This development would allow us to create an even stronger support network for community members who desperately need affordable, accessible mental health services connecting them with the resources they need and deserve. For all these reasons, job creation, economic revitalization, community involvement, and enhanced social services, we support this project and encourage you to approve it. Thank you for your time.
My name is William Thompson Jr., former controller of the City of New York, and it is an honor to be here. Chairperson Riley, Councilperson Schulman, Councilperson Moya, it is a pleasure to see all of you today and an honor to speak before you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to be brief, and I will not take 2 minutes so that you can get out of here earlier. I sit here not as a person who's receiving a check, but as a partner in this investment, in this moving forward in building in Queens, in this great opportunity, and it has been pointed out, a generational opportunity. I could talk about the outreach that has been done, and you've heard about that before, and how much has been done, and 6 community boards who have voted in favor of it. I don't know that I've seen a project like that has that kind of support. The borough board that the borough president had that listened and also supported this, and so much other support from across Queens. I sit here because I've spent a lifetime in working and focused on minority and women-owned businesses. I have yet to see a project that has made this type of commitment to both the community and growing minority and women-owned businesses. You heard Bishop Taylor earlier talk about the incredible opportunity in a loan program that I have yet to see in other places that will help minority businesses have a foothold in this project. It is unique. It needs to be replicated in other places, but has been created here. I'm a partner in this. There are minority and women partners in this also. I have yet to see that in any other casino project across the city of New York. So this is an opportunity for jobs, for growth, for businesses in the Queens and other areas to grow as part of the minority and women-owned business community. This is a unique opportunity. We should not let this go. I urge the council and this subcommittee to vote yes in favor of this project.
First of all, thank you for offering me the opportunity to speak. My name is Karen Wang. I'm here on behalf of Hamilton Medicine House to support the Metropolitan Park project. This is an exciting project that will bring year-round entertainment, dining, green space, and public transportation improvement to create a lively space that all Queens and New York can be proud of. The Metropolitan Park project is more than just a development. It's about creating jobs, boosting our local economy. It is expected to create thousands of union jobs during construction and several thousand of permanent union jobs once it's finished. That jobs that our community that very need. I'm working as a program director at Hamilton Medicine House, one of the New York City leading behavioral health clinics serving Asian American community. Since 1983, we have operated an outpatient behavioral health clinic, a supportive housing at Corona, Queens, as well as a behavioral health outpatient clinic in Lower East Side. This is the first and only one is kind of New York City and state. We serve community across with 11 Asian languages and dialect. We are grateful that the way of Metropolitan Park has engaged our organization and another local shareholder to numerous listening sessions. They have shown a sincere commitment to understand what the community wants and need to drive there. Through this project, we see a real chance to expand our clinic reach and deepen our impact. The development allows us to create an even stronger support network for our community members who desperately need affordable, accessible mental health service, connecting them with the resources that they need and deserve. For all those reasons, job creation, economic growth, community involvement, and enhance of social service, we fully support the Metropolitan Project and encourage you to approve it. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, Chair Riley and the council members. Thank you for letting me speak today. My name is Kai Shum and I'm delivering a testimony in support of the Metropolitan Park Plan. I'm a youth of the Queens who has heard many promises but not enough actions. I grew up around the Bland Project Parks, right by College Point and Roosevelt Avenue, where there were countless prostitutes, drug dealers being picked up on the streets. We have an opportunity to transform this area, which is right a block away from the Bland Project Parks to have a beautiful park given live music and solely has ensured security, more than just a handball court and netless basketball courts. From the renderings, we have seen the beautiful space that this can transform into. And as a New Yorker, we're always hearing about countless projects, but when will these projects actually happen? We actually have the funding now to make some of these projects happen. And when I have kids, I want to tell them that I was part of something that made this community better. We want to see things happen and not just hear about it all the time. As a youth, it's been about like 20, 30 years. I haven't seen much happening, but we finally have a chance to have a project that showcases the liveliness of the community, gives diversity, gives back to the minority business owners, and which is why I truly support this project.
Thank you so much. There being no questions for this panel, thank you so much for testifying today. Next panel I'll be calling up consists of Michael Del Valeria, excuse me if I mispronounced your name, Mike, Joseph Sacconi, Winston Leo, and Joseph Lamb. The following panel will consist of Reggie Pegas, Tom Greach, Jeho Fisher, and Young Kim. We will begin first with Michael.
Good morning, council members. My name is Michael De Valera, a resident of Corona, Queens, community organizer, chair of Neighborhood Advisory Board 3, treasurer of Dory Miller Co-op, former CB3 executive board member, and an associate of various affordable housing advocacies. My guiding principle is how to make New York City better and how we can leave a positive legacy. Let's take this moment to embark upon a thought experiment. In fact, let's say it's a journey into the future. A future, mind you, that is epic, transformative, and well within our reach. Let's give it a name so it's easy for us to recall. Metropolitan Park. Close your eyes. Picture a vibrant 20-acre park where families gather, where children play on new sports fields, where neighbors meet over meals at local restaurants and food courts. Imagine a thriving community hub with a theater, a hotel, a new ADA-compliant subway station, making Flushing Meadows Park more accessible. 6,000 permanent union wage jobs, 23,000 initial construction jobs. Can you see the future now? I'm speaking of a future where there is hope for our young people, a future where in the blink of an eye, some historical wrongs can be righted, a neighborhood renewed, an iconic landmark created. This isn't just about development, it's about purpose. It's about opportunity. It's about investing in a neighborhood that has long deserved more and yet has been woefully neglected. Can you feel the future nudging us? Metropolitan Park is in your hands. It's here. It's now. Council members, let's build it. Thank you.
Hi there. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm Joseph Sacconi. I'm the Chief Waterfront Design Officer at Waterfront Alliance and a resident of Woodside, Queens. I'm leading a project with Waterfront Alliance to make Flushing Meadows Corona Park more resilient. We have Metropolitan Park as a partner on that project, along with New York City Parks. They've been a great partner to work in that central core of the park and also in the Meadow Lake areas. Through that work, we've seen the constant flooding issues in Flooding Meadows. We know how hot it gets around the park. Both of those issues are made so much worse by just having giant parking lots around. Metropolitan Park is a way to make that space green again. We see how underfunded the park is. City budget isn't going to allow the kind of really generational change that this project would on those existing parking lots. This is a way to create a lifeline for improvements in Flushing Meadows. And we are, at Waterfront Alliance, are very eager to see that come to fruition. We fully support this project and are excited to see the change in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Councilman Riley, fellow council members, my name is Winston Liao. I'm a current board member with the Metro Athletic Dragons Dragon Boat team. I live in Councilman Moya's district, lifelong resident of East Elmhurst, probably one of the first Asian American families to move in back in the early 80s of the time. I'm here today to support the Metro Park development because two of my hobbies is dragon boating, and we practice out of the World's Fair Marina. For a very long time, Pier 1 at World's Fair Marina has been around as long as the parking lot that we're looking to rezone has been, long 80 years. And ever since then, the Parks Department has always tried to replace the pier, but has never come to fruition because of lack of funds or funds being diverted elsewhere. For many years, members of my team, my community as well, have reached out to Elder Developments along with the Air Train, the Olympics bid. But what better development than Metro Park, where they're looking to reconnect Flushing Meadows Corona Park through the stadium, through a new 25-acre park, through the rebuilding of Shea Road and the waterfront. To bring back the ferry, you need a new pier, a pier that's up to date with standard code, safety regulations, and all that. And not only will the new pier bring back the ferry service, it will also keep our dragon boat community home in World's Fair Marina because we've been there since the 90s. And come this April, we're losing our home. Come this April. Because the Parks Department, the piers have failed inspections. So I am supporting Metro Park because through their contributions, their commitment to extending park to waterfront, we'll have our new pier and we get to keep our home there at World's Fair Marina. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph?
Good morning. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to testify. My name is Joe Lam. I'm here to express my strong support for the Metropolitan Park project, a transformative development that promises to bring 23,000 union jobs during construction, 6,000 union jobs once open. It will revitalize Flushing's and surrounding community, not to mention significantly boost local businesses, including restaurants and shops. This visionary project offers a comprehensive mix of benefits, including a live concert venue, a food hall featuring local vendors, a world-class hotel and casino. Additionally, the inclusion of 25 acres of open green space for community use, which underscore the team's commitment to creating a vibrant, accessible, and inclusive environment for everyone. As someone with professional experience in marketing and outreach for major gaming organizations such as MGM and Hard Rock Casino, I can confidently say the Metropolitan Park team's extensive community engagement effort set them apart. Over the past 2.5 years, they have gone above and beyond to involve local stakeholders, particularly members of the Chinese and Korean community, soliciting their input, concern, ideas, and priority for this project. I firmly believe that this project will be a catalyst for economic and cultural growth in Flushing and beyond, and I urge the necessary authority to approve it without delay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have a question for Winston. Winston, what is dragon boating? You heard me over here whispering. I'm trying to look it up, but can you explain it to me, please?
So dragon boating, it's a paddle sport. It consists of a boat with either 20 or 10 paddlers, more standard-wise here in the States. It has a dragon head in front and a tail in the back. And it's a racing competition sport. We have international competitions worldwide. The largest in New York is the Hong Kong Dragon Boat Festival at Corona Park at Meadow Lake.
When's that?
That's usually first weekend of August.
Gotta check it out.
That's how rich and diverse New York City is, man. There's so much talent here. Thank you.
So it's predominantly it originated in China, And now it has grown where the top teams in the world are the Canadians. In our region, at least in our region, and they're not Asians. So it's a multi-ethnic sport.
Well, thank you so much, Winston. This panel's excused. Thank you. Our next panel consists of Tom Gretsch. Gretsch, excuse me. It's not me. You guys see how people are writing their names, right? Reggie Pegues. You guys could correct me on the mic, all right? J-Hall Fisher and Ji-Hae on the mic. And Young Kim. I got your name right? Okay. We can begin first with Tom.
Council members, it's indeed a pleasure to see you. Before my remarks, I want to invite Councilmember Riley. I'm going to get a passport and a visa for you to come see Queens.
Oh.
Anytime, especially for the Subway Series.
Sure.
Excellent. My name is Tom Gretsch. I'm the president and CEO of the Queens Chamber, oldest and largest business association in Queens County, and we are the most diverse business association probably in all of the great city of New York. We represent thousands and thousands of member companies and hundreds of thousands of Queens-based employees. As a native of Astoria, I'm here today to express my strong support for Metropolitan Park and their plan to turn the empty parking lots into actual public parks around Citi Field. This is a great opportunity. A couple quick comments. At the end of the day, the ULURP process and the community boards, 6-0. When it comes to baseball or any other sport, doesn't get better than that. 6-0 in favor. Near 82 or 83% of those community board members voiced their support. City planning was a 9-1 in favor. And as somebody that was part of every single one of those ULURPs and hundreds of meetings, I can tell you that the community at large across the board is in favor. As a business organization, you'll probably also find that we are the most pro-union chamber of commerce in the history of the city of New York. And these are 23,000 union jobs, $8 billion. And we talk about all the time in our business meetings about the fact that it's all private, no impact on the taxpayers at all, and the money this is going to generate is going to be incredible. For families living across Queens, finding a good paying job is a really, really important thing, especially in the current environment. These are job opportunities for everybody, from working in the construction and development of the site to working at the hotels, restaurants, and parks. I might add, if it hasn't been said yet, those 23,000 jobs to get started will then yield to 6,000 permanent jobs afterwards, all union. What I want to say in closing is we are building a sports and entertainment mecca in our midst. Between the Mets, the Queens Museum, Theater in the Park, USTA tennis, and a world-class soccer stadium on top of the $8 billion LaGuardia Airport, it's a great place to be, and this is a generational opportunity. I'm grateful for your time, and I yield. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Reggie Pegues, owner and CEO of Pegues Group Solutions, where we empower communities and also build futures through real estate. I am a avid supporter of this project. I live in Dory Miller Housing, which is the largest residential community right now that is directly adjacent to this proposed project. One of the major benefits that you may or may not understand is that we live in what's called an urban oven. From the parking lot, absorbing heat through the summer months, and the runways from LaGuardia, the ambient temperature is approximately 10 to 12 degrees higher than any other surrounding areas in the community. By transforming this parking lot into a park, it's going to reduce that, improve the air quality for people who maybe have respiratory issues, but most importantly, it's going to be a destination where people could come and participate and engage in the park. I fully support the program because the benefits that it's going to provide, not only for the immediate community, but for the outlying borough and for the city, is going to be tremendous. So therefore, we're asking that you support this. And it's going to be a great benefit. We're going to continue to correct the wrongs of Robert Moses, reconnect the community, and make it a landmark and a destination place for people to come throughout the world. Thank you.
Well, it's actually in the morning, right? So good morning. My name is Jihye Fisher. I serve as the Executive Director of the Korean American Family Service Center. Thank you, Chairman Riley and Councilmember Schuman and Councilmember Moya for the opportunity to testify today. For 36 years, KFSC has been dedicated to serving individuals affected by gender-based violence. As a nonprofit committed to empowering immigrant survivors and their families, we recognize the critical need for safe, accessible public spaces that foster healing, well-being, and community connection. Queens Future has set an important precedent by actively engaging community members, including organizations like KFSC, in shaping this project. Through community meetings, listening sessions, and ongoing dialogues, the park's development has ensured that the voices of Queens residents, particularly immigrants and historically underrepresented groups, are heard and reflected in its design and programming. We deeply appreciate that this process has prioritized inclusivity, making the park not just a green space, but a vital hub for cultural connection, wellness, and shared community life. As a proud partner in this effort, we strongly believe that this initiative will bring lasting benefits to all who rely on community spaces for support, recovery, and connection. Investing in Queens Future is an investment in the future of Queens, one that will serve generations to come, fostering a stronger, healthier, and more connected borough. I look forward to seeing the positive impact of this project on our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Ah-Young Kim, and I serve as the Director of Economic Empowerment at the Asian American Federation. We are a leadership organization that works with 60-plus nonprofits across the city to create a collective voice for the Pan-Asian community. And my team has been working for the past 4 years, giving direct technical assistance to small businesses across Northeast Queens to make sure that they have a fair chance to survive and thrive in our bad economy. I'm here today to express our support for the Metropolitan Park project, which stands to create thousands of good-paying jobs, provide critical economic stimulus, and offer new opportunities for small businesses and local residents alike. This is precisely the kind of investment our community needs. Now, when I go around doing outreach to small businesses along Northern Boulevard in Northeast Queens, a lot of them still tell us that after years of COVID-19 pandemic and Asian hate, they still have high concerns for public safety, and they don't know how safe their business will be, not just from Asian hate, but also from like federal government coming in to get them and target our communities. This is really detrimental to our community and our economy, Chair. And we want to ask those who are opposed to this plan, have you actually talked to the small businesses that are still struggling? Have you talked to the businesses that are saying we are not having clients coming in, we don't have regular people that used to support our business, and we need to make sure that we have a more diverse clientele as well as a fair chance to promote our business to all New Yorkers. This Queens Future is exactly the plan that is going to bring that kind of opportunity to Northeast Queens and our small businesses. Also for the same, when it comes to job opportunities, Chair, a lot of people have made like blatant claims saying that the jobs are going to be temporary. I don't think they understand the current status of like where job training programs right now do not actually have a pipeline to real job allocation for the lower income community members. The Federation and our member organizations that do job training programs right now already see that there is not enough jobs in our community, and no matter how much ESL classes you give to immigrant communities, that is not creating a more economic stimulus. So we are happy to support this, and we urge you to vote yes.
Thank you. There being no questions, this panel is excused. Thank you so much for testifying. The next panel will consist of Devon Lomax, Megan from Hotel Trades Council, Nicole Bailey, and I heard that, Reggie, and Jonathan from Queens Together. Jonathan from Queens Together. Oh, there you go. Nicole Bailey. Okay. Nicole's online. Okay, so I'll take Nicole out. And I'm going to add Brian Chen to this panel. Brian Chen. Okay. Oh, Nicole's here. All right. We're not going to add Brian. Nicole, come on. We'll begin with Lomax.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me, Chair, all the council members here. My name is Devon Lomax. I'm the political director at District Council 9. We're the Painters and Allied Trades Union, representing over 12,000 men and women in the finishing trades. And we come in complete support of this project for Queens Future and Metropolitan Park for this ULURP process. You know, our members live in the community. And earlier speaker said something about what jobs. It's not, what jobs. It's not about jobs. It's about unionized careers. And that's what Metropolitan Park is proposing for this project, and that's why we support it. We're living in uncertain times, and in the construction industry, if we don't work, we don't get paid. If our members don't work, they can't feed their families. They can't send their kids to college. And this project is going to help them succeed in that, and that's why we are in complete support of this project. And I personally am in complete opposition of Councilmember Moya's suit.
Chair, I would like that stricken from the record.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll start out by saying I'm in support of Councilmember Moya's suit. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today, along with my members. My name is Megan, and I'm a Queens native and a representative from the Hotel and Gaming Trades Council. As the Union for Hospitality and Gaming Workers, we know firsthand how good these jobs can be and what a major shot in the arm projects like this are for our economy. As for this project, Metropolitan Park, the applicant has entered into an excellent labor agreement, and we are certain that these jobs will be some of the best hospitality jobs in the entire city. We urge you to vote yes on this project, and we look forward to seeing this project come to fruition. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
John, just turn the mic on for me, please. Thanks.
How's that? Oh, there you go. Thank you, Kevin. Before I start, I want to say that I'm not just here to talk about the future of Queens Together. I want to talk about what they've already done in our community of Queens. My name is Jonathan Forgash, a proud Queens resident and founder of Queens Together, a food relief organization that partners with independent restaurants and community organizations to fight hunger. This program provides real economic development to the restaurants and provides culturally appropriate meals and groceries to neighbors facing economic insecurity. I strongly support Metropolitan Park because they understand and invest in our communities. Thanks to their financial support, Queens Together provides food relief to thousands of neighbors across the borough. This funding also supports boots-on-the-ground business resource programs for our diverse restaurant community, including advocacy, events, promotions, and peer-to-peer mentorship, everything a business needs to thrive. Metropolitan Park is more than a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to transform 50 acres of vacant asphalt surrounding Citi Field. It is also an opportunity to positively impact the health and wealth of the surrounding neighborhoods. Steve Cohen has said that owning the Mets is a civic responsibility. With an $8 billion private investment from Steve Cohen and Hard Rock, Metropolitan Park will bring 23,000 good-paying union jobs and more than $1 billion in community benefits. And why are these jobs important? In Queens, a good-paying job isn't just a paycheck, it's a life changer. Every day I see families waiting in long lines at food pantries and people juggling 2 or 3 low-wage jobs just to get by. The solution to fighting hunger isn't more free food, it's access to well-paying union jobs. Metropolitan Park will provide exactly that, allowing Queens residents to support their families and build financial security. Metropolitan Park is a game changer for Queens. I hope you will support the project, and thank you for allowing me to speak today.
Good afternoon. My name is Nicole Bailey. I'm the founder and principal of the Learning Tree STEM Art School located in Flushing, Queens, New York. As someone who has dedicated over 2 decades to educating children from pre-K through 8th grade, I stand before you today, or I sit before you today, in strong support of the Metropolitan Park project. Our school is a vibrant tapestry of Black, brown, and Asian children who deserve access to quality green spaces, economic opportunity, and a thriving community. I believe this project promises to transform isolation into connection. Our students will gain invaluable outdoor educational spaces that complement our STEM and arts curriculum with the new public park space and playgrounds. As an educator, I'm particularly excited about the project's commitment to creating 23,000 good-paying union jobs. Many of our families have struggled with Queens' 5.4 unemployment rate, higher than both city and national averages. These jobs represent real pathways to stability for families. The modernization of the Metz Willis Point 7 train station will make our community more accessible and ADA, that's the American Disability Act, compliant, allowing our students safer transit options. The improved streetscapes and widened sidewalks will create safer routes for our children to explore their neighborhood. For our community, this project isn't just about buildings and roads. It's about transforming unused space into vibrant community resources that will serve generations of students to come. I strongly urge you to join me in supporting the Metropolitan Park project because our children deserve a neighborhood as bright and promising as they are. I believe this park and all it offers will become an attraction locally and internationally. I want you to put your imagination caps on. Imagine families planning vacations from across the country and states to come to this an all-inclusive park that has something for everyone, from the youngest to the oldest. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much to this panel. There being no questions, this panel is excused. The next panel will consist of Brian Chen, Michael Hertz, Jim Burke, and Craig, I can't pronounce your last name, Craig, Lastris.
Michael Horowitz left.
Michael.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Positive?
He left his statement.
Okay.
Yes, Chair.
Jim Burke. And Craig Lastris.
Could you make an announcement just saying that this is the next last panel and then we'll be going online, so
Okay. After this, we'll have one more in-person panel, and then we'll transition to online testimony. Craig? Jim? Craig? All right.
Brian?
Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Riley and subcommittee members, for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Brian Chen, and I am the Chief Strategy Officer at the Chinese American Planning Council. We are a 60-year-old social services organization, just celebrated our 60-year anniversary last week, rooted in community and anchored across 35 sites throughout New York City that serve 80,000 individuals and families annually. From early child care and after-school programs to English literacy classes and older adult programming, our holistic services ensure community members not only survive, but thrive. The Chinese American Planning Council is supportive of the inclusive, community-integrated workforce and economic development potential of the Metropolitan Park project as it aligns with our agency's mission to promote the social and economic empowerment of immigrant and low-income New Yorkers. As an organization that provides linguistically accessible and culturally competent employment services and wraparound supports, we believe Metropolitan Park has the potential to move the needle on economic mobility for Queens residents by creating real pathways for the upskilling, hiring, and retention of local talent. Through the project's commitment to supporting workforce development, workforce training, job creation, and career advancement, Metropolitan Park is positioned to be an opportunity hub inclusive of the local business community and the borough's diverse but often marginalized populations, including multilingual and multi-generational immigrants, individuals with disabilities, and unemployed and underemployed Queens residents served by community organizations such as the Chinese American Planning Council. I want to thank you again for your time. Thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Craig Lastris, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Common Point. and a resident of Queens, which really supports this project. Common Point serves over 100,000 people of Queens to use our services each year. We see this project as a real chance to help community. 30,000 of those people use our food pantries every year. That's a chance to bring those people in the surrounding areas from crisis to stability by offering them well-paying jobs, creating them workforce opportunities, which means getting them off those food pantry lines and giving them a real chance to flourish. Second, we talk about a park, and no one's really mentioned this, but in that park, there's actually a park for those with disabilities. How many parks have a park that specializes for those with disabilities? Having a park with for a chance for children to play with disabilities is something that's not, popular. It's rare. So I really think that's an amazing opportunity, not just for the people of Queens, but people of New York City to go use. And also helps our 500 participants that do have disabilities for a place to go to actually have fun in the summer months. Lastly, we need to think about the future, not just for today, but our children and then their children. This really is a chance for everybody to have a good opportunity to flourish in the future. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Burke. I grew up in the Bronx, but I've been in Queens since 1990. And since then, we just recently got our 82nd Street subway fixed in the Bronx with no elevator. After waiting all these years to finally get it fixed, and you still can't access it. My mom, who's 81, can't access it. What Metropolitan Park is going to do is going to bring a lot of these infrastructure projects that we wait and have waited for 10 or 20 years, and they're going to happen quickly. So we're going to have a fully accessible subway station that, instead of being an embarrassment and old and grimy, for many people, it's the only time they take the subway is to go to a Mets game or a tennis game. They might not take the subway any other time. It's an opportunity to catch them. And what do we show them? A maze, up and down, sideways, stairs here, stairs there, ramps to nowhere. The other thing, we're going to get open space. We fight, I'm in Danny Drum's district, that fight for a tiny piece of Traverse Park took forever. And to get 25 acres of a public park, including one that's set aside for people with autism and a sensory park, that's just incredible. And who's paying for it? Is it us? No. They're going to pay for all of this infrastructure that we desperately need and that we can use to go to Flushing. You never even have to step foot in the casino. You never have to even step in Citi Field. But if you walk and bike and take the subway, you will benefit from this project. Really happy about the lighting along Roosevelt. It's really nice to walk on a summer day after a game, but not on a pockmarked street with cars whizzing by and no overhead lighting. They've addressed that. It's going to make it pleasant. And I think that when someone else is footing the bill, let's take them up on that, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There be no questions. Panel's excused. Thank you. The last in-person panel, and if I don't call your name in this panel, please see one of the Sergeant at Arms for a speaker's card. Robert Dorsty, Eduardo Valentin, Edward McWilliams, and Liang Ming. If I did not call your name and you would like to testify, please see one of the Sergeant at Arms for a speaker's card. Eduardo, you could go ahead. You may begin.
Good morning, everyone.
If you could just turn the mic on.
There we go. Hello? Testing,
Yes.
There we go. Hey, good morning, Council. Good afternoon, I should say. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Robert Dorsky. I'm a small business owner out in Flushing, Queens. I employ close to 30 hardworking individuals. I'm very involved in the hospitality business. And upon speaking with fellow business owners in the Flushing community, restaurant, club, and bar owners, we all agree that North Queens needs a project like Metropolitan Park. We want people who fly into LaGuardia and JFK to stay and spend money in Queens. We are tired of seeing people go elsewhere and spend their tourist dollars. In addition to my Flushing business, I am also a former board member of Sage House Apartments next to Dory Miller in North Corona, a few blocks from Citi Field. As a longtime resident of Corona, I can tell you Roosevelt Avenue is not a vibe. It is not a hotspot. It is rampant with crime. We should be grateful to Steve Cohen and team to invest in our community their money to give us more jobs and opportunities. So moving forward on that, I've been hearing some of the opposition and the conspiracies out there. 4 years, they have engaged the community, and they've actually come up with a program, a Queens Passport program, engaging over 100 restaurants and businesses so money can be spent in our community. No one else is giving us that opportunity. So as a local businessman, as a local resident, of someone who actually lives in Corona, not these outsiders, this is my backyard, I'm from Queens, I would like you to vote yes for Queens and vote yes for Metropolitan Park. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairman Riley, distinguished members of the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises, and my esteemed colleagues. My name is Edward McWilliams. I am proud to serve as the Executive Director of the Cement and Concrete Workers District Council Lesset Fund. On behalf of our organization, which represents the contracting employers and the hardworking men and women dedicated to building strong, sustainable communities across New York, I am here to offer our unwavering support for land use numbers 249 and 250, the Queens Future Map Change and Amendment proposed by Queens Future LLC. These applications represent a bold and forward-thinking vision for Queens, one that aligns with the needs of our workers, our industry, and the broader community. The proposed rezoning will unlock significant opportunities for economic growth, job creation, and infrastructure improvements spanning community boards 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and Council District 21. These are the kinds of opportunities that sustain families, strengthen neighborhoods, and ensure that Queens remains a vibrant hub for working people. Moreover, the thoughtful design of this proposal demonstrates a commitment to balancing development with community needs. For example, the adjustments to the Grand Central Parkway, including the westbound ramp, will enhance connectivity and alleviate traffic congestion, benefiting both workers and residents in the area who rely on efficient transportation networks. These changes reflect a comprehensive approach to urban planning that prioritizes economic vitality and quality of life. The Queens Future Map Change and Amendment is more than a rezoning. It is an investment in the borough's long-term prosperity. By establishing a C84 district, this project will pave the way for commercial industrial growth, attracting businesses to create jobs and generate revenue for the city of New York. At the same time, it preserves Queens' unique character by integrating new development with existing infrastructure and community assets. On behalf of the Cement and Concrete Workers Lesset Fund, I urge the subcommittee to approve 249 and 250. It's a rare opportunity to deliver tangible benefits to workers, businesses, and residents alike. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Ms. Ming?
Okay, good afternoon. I'm excited for the opportunity to speak. My name is Liang Ming. I'm the Program Director of Glow Culture Center, located on 41st Avenue in downtown Flushing. I'm also a Queens resident for 10 years of immigration experience. Our center provides cultural wellness and youth development programs and serving as a hub for community activity. We aim to serve the multicultural potential population of our community, including but not limited to the underserved new immigrant, low-income households residing in Flushing and the nearby communities. I support the Metropolitan Park Plan because I have witnessed firsthand how Sonny and his team engaged with the community at our center. They hosted one of the very first visioning sessions at our center with my pride. Residents from different ethnic groups were invited to sit at the same table and share their visions and concerns. I'm most impressed by the live music venue that has the potential to bring the best singers and bands to Queens, which is nearby my house. I don't need to take the train for 4 hours to other place to enjoy the show. Please vote yes to this plan and give a chance to move forward. I calling my name Liang Ming. That means brightness, double brightness. We are looking forward to a brighter Queens future. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. I'm last, but hopefully not least once again. My name is Eddie Valentin. I am a homeowner and own 2 LGBTQIA bars in Jackson Heights for more than 35 years. One of my bars, Friends Tavern, recently won the Queens Historical Plaque for being a great community partner. The reason I mention this is because I'm here to support this project because I know Mr. Cohen, his team, and the Hard Rock Hotel will take on a new level of community partnership in Queens. For a reality check, each time I put a help wanted ad, I get 50 to 100 people applying for a busboy or even a barback position. Many applicants tell me they want to be close to Queens because they have children in school or they take care of their elderly parents. It's sad to see how many excellent candidates I cannot give a job to. So now we see a project that's coming and creating 23,000 construction phase union jobs and 6,000 union permanent jobs, which our surrounding neighborhoods definitely needs. I haven't seen too many people reaching out to do this in the past, and I've been in business there 35 years. So most projects happen in Queens quietly without our neighbors knowing about it. We have ugly warehouses opening everywhere in our neighborhoods, and our opinions are never considered. However, Mr. Cohen, Sully, and his team did things differently, and they asked a group of us in the community to get together. They presented us with a project that was already an incredibly positive project, and yet they still asked for our opinion, and they still, whatever comments we've made, ended up on their vision board. So it wasn't like they were asking us and they weren't listening to us. They listened to what the community wanted and what the neighbors needed. Mr. Cohen has been completely transparent with this project without making promises. We have already seen how much the Metz Foundation has given back to our local communities. Imagine how much more they're going to give back now that they have made promises, and I'm sure they're going to live up to these promises. There are billionaire companies outside selling cell phones with algorithms. They don't want to create algorithms to hook up our kids. What they want to do is give back park space. And we hear our neighbors talking about more affordable housing. There's many empty lots that are being turned into these local food chains so they can be used for affordable housing. This is park space and should be used for green park spaces. One last thing, please. Right now, the place has the 4 Ds, which are it's dingy, it's dirty, it's dangerous, and it's dark. And they're turning it into well-lit, clean, beautiful, and a safe space. Thank you for listening to us all.
All right, thank you. There being no questions, panel's excused. Okay, we're going to transition online. First, we're going. Thank you. First, we're going to go with a panel that's against the project, and then we're going to go with a panel that's for the project. First panel consists of Joseph Datko, Cody Herman, Melissa Zavala, and Chandra Gomes. Following will consist of Patrick Young, Brian Lee, Joanne Yo, and Charles Appelin. So first, I'm going to begin with Joseph Datko. Joseph, if you can hear me, please unmute and you may begin.
You may begin. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. And pardon my voice. I'm having a bit of a medical experience today. I've heard Sully give this pitch many times now, and it seems like each edition, the veneer comes off a little bit more to expose the essence of it, which is give us this land or it's going to stay a parking lot for the next 80 years. This is a shakedown. And the supposed consensus on the part of the community boards doesn't really represent, since those positions are appointed and not elected. The city council, however, is elected, and I would like to implore you to exercise some judgment and take some pride in your role to not fall victim to a shakedown and to not meekly deflect responsibility to, well, it's the State Gaming Commission or it's the state legislature. Please consider the issue before you on its own merits, and I will submit further written comments as well, but I am opposed, and I believe most of Community District 3, where I am, shares this sentiment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Cody Herman.
Hi, thank you. My name is Cody Herman. I'm a lifelong resident of Flushing, and I'm testifying against the Queens Futures proposal today. I'm an appointed member of Queens Community Board 7, so I've been in a lot of meetings about this project and all the projects that are really setting out to change the face of 150 acres of land surrounding Flushing Creek, from Flushing to Willets Point to City Field. Many of these projects are textbook green gentrification, and I wish the city would reconsider the long-term outcomes of indirect displacement on existing surrounding neighborhoods. At my community board, I've been repeatedly silenced during ULERP meetings for sharing my thoughts against the Queens Future project and other projects like this in the neighborhood. As I know, many others in different community boards have also been bullied and threatened, sometimes by the applicant teams themselves. I say this a lot, but it's not poverty that causes displacement. It's massive injections of wealth like this that cause existing area residents and businesses to have to move out of their neighborhoods. I would also like to emphasize that this is not likely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Different iterations of this proposal have been proposed on and off over the last 30 years since the Downtown Flushing Revitalization Plan in the early 90s. It's basically a false dichotomy to suggest that, this could never happen again and we'll never have another chance at developing this land. Sully noted that he thinks this is the best site in the city for a project like this, that this waterfront adjacent site in a historic wetland might be a great place for a massive 2,000 plus room hotel, a convention center, and a concert hall. In a NASA study put out in 2023, they actually noted nearby areas like LaGuardia Airport and the Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium are sinking nearly 0.5 centimeter a year. They're sinking faster than any other areas in the city. We know that this land used to be wetlands and is incredibly vulnerable to flooding and sinking. Why are we building a mega project here?
Your time has expired.
Huh?
Time has expired.
You could wrap it up, Ms. Herman.
Thank you. It's poor land use to approve these zoning districts to allow large commercial projects in such ecologically vulnerable places. And ironically, the Coney Island Casino, another massive development, is in an area that's also notably sinking worse than other places in the city. I really think that it's time to start thinking about a managed retreat and rethinking how we build in Northeast Queens and really what the future looks like in terms of infrastructure and ensuring a safe place with climate change.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Melissa Zavala.
You may begin.
For this opportunity to speak. I could reiterate some of the really important points that others have already made, but I'm going to try to just succinctly summarize my opposition to this. I'm a not entirely lifelong resident of Jackson Heights, but certainly of Queens, and I am in strong opposition to this plan on several fronts. Mainly the point that Ms. Herman was just making about the area sinking. It's, after all, a wetland, and it continues to behave as such, and it will do so, especially if very heavy infrastructure is added to it. So that alone is a real issue for concern. Not to mention the fact that really on the surface, if for all those people who cannot believe that there would be opposition to this once in a lifetime project, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, as the saying goes, right? And this sounds like a lot of pie in the sky. You have everything from ADA compliance that the city hasn't been able to achieve so far, to a park for disabled people. Every single thing that anybody wants is there. What else can Sully and Cohen promise us? It's alarming, actually, that all of these things would be added, and then that we would all believe that this is going to happen. We know that corporations don't have the same aims as people. We can build a project like this, or not, without the casino, without the hotel and the luxury and all of that. We can build a park that would enhance our resilience using city money. We can plan this. The Guardians of Flushing Bay and the Fed Up Coalition have already been doing some of this work, and the communities approve of these proposed plans. We can find the money. If we are underfunding parks, making parks have to rally for 1% of the city budget every single year, it's no wonder that the pier is in this.
Thank you. Your time's expired.
Okay, thank you. I just want you to please vote against this and support the public land that is Flushing Meadows Park.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Chandra Gomes.
You may begin.
Chandra Gomes, if you can hear me, please unmute and you may begin.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I couldn't unmute. Good morning, everybody. I am strongly opposed to this. First of all, I feel that public park land should never be sacrificed to a millionaire developer to put more money in his pocket. Once we give away public park lands, it can never be reclaimed.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gomes. There being no questions for this panel is excused. The next panel I'm going to call up consists of Charles Applin, Brian Lee, Joanne Yo, and Patrick Young. We'll begin first with Patrick Young.
You may begin.
Thank you, Councilman Riley, and it's good to see you again, and to all those who share on this committee. I am Patrick Young, pastor of First Baptist Church. Our church has a tremendous food pantry. I would call it the free grocery store for 1,000 families that meet us every Saturday. And they stay from Friday to Saturday, 12 noon, preparing to get their food that we serve them every Saturday. I know firsthand what's going on. I hear all this opposition, but it's interesting that they don't feel the pain of the people that in my community are feeling with a lack of living wage jobs and a lack of being able to deal with what I call a food desert where we are in. But not just a food desert, we are economic desert. And because we're economic desert, this project brings fresh water in a desert that's desperately starving for some fresh water, economic. In light of our climate we're in right now, this project is just come at just at the nick of time because we don't have an economic uncertainty and this new economic COVID that we're dealing with now with this administration. This wonderful project will bring a lifeline to those who need hope and need help in our communities. And I want to encourage you to support this. I support it because it makes economic sense. It makes a life-living sense. It makes a transforming sense. And it makes a better sense for our community that desperately needs a facelift, a community that desperately needs an economic lift, and a community that desperately needs someone who cares for their future. And that's what Queens Future does. It cares for the future of those in our community.
Thank you. Time's expired.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Joanne Yo.
You may begin.
Good afternoon. My name is Joanne Yu, and until recently, I served as the executive director of a nonprofit organization that worked with hundreds of Asian American small businesses in New York City, in particular Flushing, Queens, and the surrounding area for at least 20 years. I am testifying to express my strong support for the Queens Future plans for Metro Park. I don't want to echo what everybody else has said in support, but I want to talk about a reality right now. I want to shout out all the nonprofit organizations and the community groups that are holding up our community in this economic climate. Right now, private philanthropy is withdrawing support from nonprofits who support vulnerable and scared immigrants who refuse to ask for help because of their immigration status. Federal government has cut funding to local nonprofits that run food programs, protect victims of domestic violence and other social service safety net programs. I am most excited about the Metro Park's commitment to creating a funding pool to support the great work that's being done by the community groups, because we really need the support to be able to maintain helping the most vulnerable members of our community. During this time, as we're all trying to recover from the economic devastations of COVID that resulted in the loss of thousands of jobs, and now with the draconian federal funding cuts, This project has a chance to inject the economy with real pipeline of good paying jobs, improvements to physical space, and community philanthropy. I ask this body and City Council to put their visionary hats on and say yes to this opportunity that will surely benefit Queens and our entire city. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Brian Lee.
You may begin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Chair Riley and subcommittee. My name is Brian Lee, born and residing in Queens, and I've been running a vocational trade school in Manhattan for over 30 years. We're currently graduating hundreds of skilled workers each year who need jobs. And I know a lot of previous testimonies highlighted this exact thing, but that just shows how much gravity job creation is really pulling right now. This is why I'm voicing my support for Metropolitan Park. A majority of the students that graduate from my school happen to be legal immigrants, and we require that all students to be high school graduates at a minimum. So as you can see, we're graduating trade-educated, highly skilled citizens. The jobs and careers that Metropolitan Park is creating will be huge for schools, private like mine, and public schools also locally and in the whole city. They need these opportunities, and we cannot afford to pass this up. That's the ultimate reason for my support, and I look forward to Metropolitan Park being built and us reaping all of its benefits. Let's please get this done. Shout out to Sully and his team, and thank you again to the committee for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Charles Appling.
Hello, Chair Riley and committee members. My name is Chuck Apelian. As the Queens Community Board 7 Land Use Chairman, I have held numerous hearings regarding Metropolitan Park's application. To be clear, I want to address prior broad stroke and irresponsible allegations and state that as a community board member, I am not a paid consultant, nor do I have any financial relations with this applicant. I am now the community board chairman, and I ask this committee to join our community board's overwhelming support to begin the process to convert the asphalt around Citi Field into a vibrant and economic community hub. A lot of what I wanted to say has already been said, so I won't repeat, but this privately funded plan does offer us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for new green space, environmental resistance, and opportunities for active and passive recreation. Yes, the project will create thousands of good-paying union jobs while ensuring the local hiring of residents and securing contracts with local minority and women-owned business. I want to focus on one major benefit that hasn't really been discussed. We were extremely and especially impressed by the promise to privately fund and build a $400 million new MTA subway and Long Island Railroad station improvements built to MTA standards. I want to emphasize that these huge and important improvements create a modern gateway for the entire area that serves 42,000 fans that attend every event at Citi Field, 25,000 fans that attend every event at Etihad Soccer Stadium, 23,000 fans that attend every event at the USTA Billie Jean King Tennis Stadium, and the 10,000 residents and workers.
Thank you. Time has expired.
You can wrap it up, Chair.
That will use the station to reach the new Willets Point development. Without the Metropolitan Park, MTA will never fund these important and much needed station improvements. I ask the committee to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. There being no questions for this panel is excused. I believe we have two more virtual panels. I'm going to call up the first panel. It consists of Sahida Dunstan, Vinny Lachella, Olga Reyes, and Maria Fierro. The following panel will consist of Tammy Rose, Dion Sung Yu, Chanel Thomas, and Larry Gallegos. The first person that were asked to speak is Sahida Dunstan.
You may begin.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair, our council member from our district, Francisco Maya, and everyone else at the council's here to talk about this land use. I will try to keep it super brief. I am the CEO of Elm Corps. We are the oldest Black founded social service and human justice organization in Queens, possibly in the 5 boroughs. We're 60 years this year. I say that because one of the things that is very concerning about the opposition, and repeatedly we say this over and over again, there is some tone deafness of telling Black folks that they have been paid for. And I think I wanted to make sure that I put that on the record because we continually say that, that we should stop saying that the people who support this project, especially people of color, primarily Black folks, are being paid for. We are an organization. There was a request to say if we're in business or have received a check. We are in business with the Mets and Metropolitan Park as a process. Our partnership is for philanthropic efforts and in a relationship to move forward with the idea of being a partner as a Black agency who's been dealing with addiction for 60 years to actually address problem gaming as an issue. One of the things about casinos is we would consider them as bars. They are safe consumption sites. They are sites where people can consume whatever their consumptions are and be able to get connected to care if necessary. So that is Elm Corps' paid business, because we are in the business of human justice and we're in the business of dealing with people who have issues with addiction. And we know that addiction will not go away just because we don't build a casino. But what we want to do is to be in partnership with people who are in need before they end up at the worst end of their times. And so that's been our relationship with this project. And we do thank the Mets who have continued to fund us through this process. I've said this repeatedly. Prior to this leadership at the Mets, Elm Corps, who had been a partner in their backyard for decades, had not been reached out to, had not been asked to be a part of any conversations, and have not been allowed to
Your time's
be a part
expired.
of any conversations. For that reason, I just want to say this is still a competitive process, and we're just asking for an opportunity to participate and to compete. That is something that Black folks have continued to ask for years, and we will continue to ask for. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Vinny Lachella.
You may begin.
Vinny Lachella, if you can hear me, please unmute. Vinny Lachella.
You may begin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, panel. Afternoon, distinguished council members and panelists, all who took the time to come out today. I just want to say that this project is something that this community is in desperate need of. We've seen for years this part of Queens has been underserved. As a person who's lived here over 40 years, some of our families have been here 70 years. Not all of us can be doctors. Not all of us can be for higher education. This provides construction jobs. This provides the blueprints for families to make a new life. It gives an opportunity to people that might not have served and not had an opportunity. This project itself is a full year-round opportunity for musical and events. This is an opportunity to host different projects that we can't. Anyone that knows, in 2012, we lost the bid for the Olympics because, as the international body had stated, New York City was not ready to host some type of these events. This puts us on the forefront of the future. It brings jobs to the local community. It's literally listening to everything that this community has asked for. The sessions, everything that was asked for by everybody has been reached. I want to thank Steve Cohen. I want to thank all of the elected officials who have tried their best to give this part of Queens what we need. We need this. The community needs it. We owe it to our children, and we cannot stand to let it sit a valley of ashes for another 100 years. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Olga Reyes. Olga, if you can hear me, please unmute.
You may begin.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak on behalf of this project. My name is Olga Reyes, and I've been listening about this project and have heard many arguments over why shouldn't it happen and why it should happen. In my point of view, I am for the project. Metropolitan Park is proposing a real difference. And basically, what I'm trying to say is that I keep on hearing people blaming the Cohens, and they have explained many times the situation was created by somebody that decided to create this parking lot and make it a park, or name it as a park. And I keep on hearing how many times we try to penalize Metropolitan Park for trying to fix that. Let's talk about this parking lot. The land that once they built has been on a lease for, and is going to be on a lease for the next 81 years, with rent actively being paid. So I don't understand why is there in a position on building something there of something they're already paying for. I want to see something big and beautiful in our community. I don't want to look on the dark, empty parking lot anymore. I want to see jobs being created for families, and have families have a safe space for kids to play while before a game, after a game. This have also, what brought up to my attention is the fact that they're also offering, throughout this project, they're going to offer childcare for their employees, something that it's very rare to hear and see in Queens. With this, giving the opportunities for those families that work there to be able to have an easier commute to pick up the children, and also to go home if they live in the neighborhood, which from my understanding, this is the purpose of this project. I know some people are worried about the casino bringing addiction into our
Thank you.
community.
Time's expired.
Sorry,
You can wrap it up.
let me just finish out this. Our kids are already surrounded by smokes and shop and dispensaries and alcohol. I don't see the reason why this project wouldn't come through. I think at the end of the day, we want something better for Queens. And I want to see more employees being created and have a better and easier commute for families to pick up the children from work and have more quality time with them. Thank you.
Last person from this panel is Maria Ferrero.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and give my voice to be heard. Again, I do echo everything that everyone has said about supporting this, so I'll keep it short. But we talked about, jobs, and one of the things is part of my job and my goal and my commitment to my community is help them be financially fit. And I see so many people that don't have good jobs, and what happens, not now, but what happens when the retirement time comes, they don't have ways to retire, because if anybody knows someone, if they don't plan, Social Security is not going to be enough. So that's one of the reasons I support this project, because we need good jobs with retirement, with benefits and health care coverage. The other thing, I hear a lot of people saying about safety. I invite anyone to walk around Citi Field around 7, 8 o'clock when it's dark, and let me know if they feel safe or not. I want to be able to leave my job. I work on 94th Street and be able to walk and enjoy the green space. If I want to play, definitely maybe attend a concert, go out to dinner. So the reason I support this project is because we do need the jobs. We need the green space. Again, they talk about that we're taking away parkland. Again, as far as I know, every day when I drive home, I just see an empty parking lot. So another thing, it's Queens, yes, and I think everybody has expressed it. We do deserve world-class entertainment in our backyard. So please support this project for today and for the future. We need it, and I hope you decide to do the right thing for Queens.
Your time's expired.
Thank you. There being no questions for this panel is excused. The last panel virtually will consist of Tammy Rose, Dion Sung Yu, Chanel Thomas, Larry Gallegos, and Elizabeth Bayan. We'll begin first with Tammy Rose. Tammy, if you can hear me, please unmute and you may begin.
You may begin.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Council, for allowing us to speak. My name is Tammy Rose. I live in Jackson Heights. I'm a mom, an early childhood educator, small business owner, and veteran. And most of all, I'm a lover of my Queens community. I'm here today to express my strong support for the Metropolitan Park project. In full transparency, my company, Little Friends, has provided and may provide in the future services to Queens Future, such as consulting services with respect to the design of the on-site child care facility to be located at the Metropolitan Park site. This child care facility is what I'm here fighting for. When I first heard about this project, I was ambivalent. But after attending the first town hall and hearing about the 24,000 union jobs, my first thought was, who is taking care of the children? And my second thought was, wow, I'm really against the 50 acres of unused asphalt when we could build a park there instead. After having multiple conversations with the team, I knew this project is exactly what we need in Queens. To be able to offer childcare to the workers of this project, not only for early childhood, but for after school, which includes sports, music, and a wraparound schedule to accommodate the working schedule of parents, this would be transformative in Queens. No other company is doing this, and it will be such an asset to not only the families, but also the children. Childcare is often the first barrier for families to go back to work. Childcare is also one of the many positive community benefits of the project, which includes a new park, public park for the children to play, an improved train station for the families to access, and local hiring that will employ the members of our community. I want to again thank the council for allowing me to speak. And again, I want to express my strong support for Metropolitan Park, where we have the opportunity to put Queens first and where our kids will thank us for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Dion Song Yu.
Hi, good afternoon, Council. My name is Dion Yu, and I am representing the Flushing Business Improvement District, and we're here to support this project. And we're excited for this project for our borough and for our community. So I would like to make 2 points. The first point I want to make is that as a community in downtown Flushing, we have survived the housing crisis and the financial crisis, but by overly relying on local customers, we suffer in the COVID time. So it's crucial that we diversify our customer base, and we believe this project will finally put a downtown Flushing on the map, especially with the location to LaGuardia Airports. We're excited, and we believe that what could be better project than this project to diversify and recruit more consumers to our community. Now, the second point I want to make is that there are over 60 million tourists who visit New York City. Now, they typically use our airport as a pass-through, but I believe with this project, we finally have a chance to put our neighborhood on everyone's map. So we're not greedy. We just want 2% of the 60 million. With 1.2 visitors to downtown Flushing, we are looking forward to this project. I think this project is good for our community, good for borough, good for New York City. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Chanel Thomas.
Good afternoon, Council, and thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Chanel Thomas Henry, and I've been a lifelong resident of Corona East Elmhurst, right next to this project site. I stand here as a wife, a mother, and a dedicated community advocate, and I support Metropolitan Park. During this time of national uncertainty, the creation of jobs is crucial, as this project is expected to generate at least 23,000 union jobs, with a minimum of 6,000 permanent jobs that will benefit our local families. Alongside job creation, the team has collaborated to provide free healthcare, and jobs aren't merely a concept or a checking of the box. They have already reached out to several of our nonprofits throughout the city to start training residents and individuals from our communities to make sure that they're fully equipped to get these jobs. For small businesses, which are the lifeblood of New York and a key factor in creating generational wealth, the team has committed to at least 30% minority and women business goals. But in addition to that, have developed programs aimed at building capacity and securing funding for small businesses that often struggle to compete in large-scale projects like this. This initiative aims to eliminate barriers to participation. Lastly, the Community Benefits Program, a $1 billion initiative, will establish a Queens food hall, providing small vendors with a safe year-round venue to sell their goods, provide resources to our community-based organizations during these uncertain times, supporting groups that deliver essential services to our underserved populations. Enhancing public spaces such as parks and recreational areas, and the much-needed overhaul of Met's Willets Point 7 train station, making it ADA accessible and improving transportation connectivity to encourage sustainable commuting options and reduce traffic congestion in our neighborhoods.
Thank you. Time's expired.
I'm wrapping up. An ordinary project. It is a transformative effort focused on comprehensive community engagement, job creation, support for small businesses, and enhancements to public spaces and transportation. This project sets a new standard for urban development that prioritizes people and our environment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Larry. Larry, if you can hear me, please unmute and you may begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larry Gallegos. My wife and I are lifelong Queens residents and hope our 2 kids can one day say the same. Really quickly, I'll address the offensive allegations made by a previous speaker. No, I have no business interest or personal financial gains from this project. I think it's clear here that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our community, which is why most of us are here. Yes, Steve Cohen and his team have invested in the surrounding community, but isn't that what we have ultimately asked of our corporate partners? I'd much rather ask the Elmcores of the world what is best for this community whose leadership comes from the neighborhood and not from outsiders who have provided no legitimate, keyword being legitimate, alternative. One speaker said on one hand that the city can't meet ADA requirements, and then on the other saying that a park can be built with city funds. Make up your mind. Even if the lease for the parking lot wasn't there and you believe that the city could fund a project of this magnitude, I have a bridge to sell you if you believe that. We've seen this play out before. Certain people come into our communities and try to tell us what is best for us. I think I speak for a lot of folks here when I say we are tired of it. I've actually hung out on 103rd, went to the movies when the theater was there, got my haircuts at 104th, eaten at La Cabaña. I'm from this community. For the professional agitators who want to stand in the way of progress, I promise you that you will find us at every turn. We will not be ignored anymore, and I will continue to fight for this project because our community deserves it and our borough deserves it. Thank you, council members. I humbly ask that you support this project.
Thank you, Larry. Next, we'll hear from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, if you can hear me, please unmute.
Thank you. So my name is Elizabeth Bien. I used to work for the Queens Borough President Office and District Attorney's Office. Now I'm working for a nonprofit in Queens. So thank you for giving me this time to testify for Metropolitan Park. I attended a couple of presentations, and it was an eye-opening experience to see a project that can transform the borough and the city we live in. Metropolitan Park will utilize private funds to provide the public with a world-class creation area, including parks, hotels, restaurants, a modern subway station, and many, many more. It will be a park I will be very proud to introduce to my friends from all over the world. This is not a one-person decision. It is a collective effort involving thousands of hours of community input and professional work. So the team led by Sully deserve applause for this. The park is multifunctional. The most controversial aspect is the gaming casino. The argument that the casino will bring gambling addiction and other crimes does not hold. First of all, how many people have not been to a casino? Maybe a handful. But how many have become addicted to it? Maybe 1% or less. So a well-managed place with quality services and businesses won't be a bed of crime. On the contrary, a neglected land is more likely to nurture negative things. So if I ask you to name a few landmarks in Queens, you might mention the remnants of the World Fair from 100 years ago, the Unis Fair, or the US Open. Not many more. So let's vote yes to Queens' future plan of the Metropolitan Park as our next landmark in Queens history. The generation will be so grateful for the vision and the investment in Queens. So thank you for your time and consideration. Again, I want to express my strong support for Metropolitan Park. So thank you so much.
Thank you. There being no questions, this panel is excused. We do have another panel. The first person I'll call up is Isaac Carmigny.
You may begin.
Isaac, if you can hear me, please unmute. Isaac?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so just get my video. There we go. Yeah, so my name is Isaac Carmignani. I'm a member of Community Board 4 in Queens. I'm a Corona resident, and I'm in support of Metro Park. This is good for Queens. It brings a much-needed public transportation upgrade without spending public dollars. It brings jobs to us, 23,000 or thereabout. There's the food hall. There's the points card for restaurants, the Taste of Queens. There's the work with Elmcor and other CBOs to deal with the potential, though very low, gambling addiction issue that the previous speaker so eloquently mentioned. There's tax revenues to MTA, to schools. There's the local hiring center. It's helpful environmentally. And I know for myself, I'm on the road a lot, and I'm on the road now for a federal agency. And so I get to drive through a lot of towns and look at a lot of ballparks. And we need what a lot of other cities have. There's a destination after the game and before the game for people to go to. They're easily accessible. And this is not the case with Citi Field. And so we need that. We need this upgrade badly. And so I strongly implore you to vote for this amendment, this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a unknown caller. Last four digits is 8670. If you can hear me, you can unmute and you may begin.
Yes, I'm the one with 8670.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Aretha Wareham. I have been a community member, resident over 50 years. First of all, I want to say that I am not a paid participant for the Metropolitan Project. I definitely approve the project. I'm sorry, I just had that. I have made many meetings and committee testimonials, and have not changed my mind about the approval of this project. I vote yes. Not only does it providing economic development, beautification, job, and community benefits, but my one thing is, these things have been thrown around by the no-sayers like it doesn't mean anything. And this community definitely needs these benefits. I've lived over it for 50 years, and there's been no major development in this area besides the LaGuardia Airport. The number 7 train station at 111th Street is shameful and has been that way for over 20 years. I want to see change, and I'm definitely approving and supporting this project. And I listened to this since 10 o'clock, and someone spoke before, and they said that the no-sayers speak loud but do not represent 80% of this community. And that's true. So, yes, I urge the committee to vote yes. I'd like to thank the committee for allowing me to do the testimony and for the Councilmember Moya. Have a good day.
Okay, there's one more. Thank you. And the last person, whoever second story is, you can unmute. If you're on the phone, you can press *6 to unmute.
Hi, thank you so much. Apologies for appearing as second story. My name is Elaine O'Brien. I'm using my business Zoom account. And I am calling in from my work. I'm a business owner in Jackson Heights, Queens. I'm a resident of Jackson Heights, Queens. I've been here, lived in Jackson Heights for 10 years, and have lived in New York City for 25 years. And I am calling today to discourage the permission for this project to continue. I think that we know that proximity to casinos are typically not good for neighborhoods. I understand and recognize that the project includes a lot of benefits that we all want to see more of, things like Queens Food Hall, Taste of Queens Food Hall, jobs, hotels, that type of thing. But first and foremost, the issue that, comes to mind and why this would be a project that is bad for our neighborhood is because it is well understood that casinos do not benefit the residents of the neighborhoods in which they are built. Furthermore, there is no enforceable community benefits at all. There's no legally binding community benefit agreement to hold developers of this project accountable for delivering on their community benefit promises. I believe the job offers are misleading. I've heard things like 20,000 union jobs. I've heard 30,000 union jobs. What we know is that Hard Rock is not a union employer. Developers have only promised union jobs for the short-term construction of the casino, not for any casino workers. Most of all, this is a public land giveaway. This is parkland. This is park space. While the developer Queens Future LLC trumpets the project's 20-acre park, the proposal in fact features a 7-acre privately owned grassy plaza tucked in between the sprawling casino complex and the stadium with a smattering of medians and walkways. Giving away parkland sets a really negative precedent. Thank you for what kind of future we want. And I do not want to see the privatization of our parks. Last thing I'll say is that I'm a big Mets fan. I go to Citi Field a lot. I appreciate all that Steve Cohen has done for the Mets. And I've also traveled a lot and gone to a lot of stadiums that are, as another caller mentioned, frankly, much more engaging than the one that we have. And none of them, not one that I've gone to, has a casino. We can do this without a gambling facility. Thank you.
Thank you. There being no questions for this panel is excused. If there are any members of the public who wish to testify regarding this proposal remotely, please press the raise hand button now, or if you're here in person, please identify yourself to the sergeants. I will stand at ease for 10 seconds. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee counsel, land use, and other council staff, and the Sergeant at Arms for participating in today's meeting. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you.